What is up, everybody? This is Edward back with another video, doing another episode of Everybody Hates Black Men. This is going to be an open panel. I ain't see us a lot of people live streaming right now, and it's Friday. I know a lot of y'all ain't got shit to do because COVID is still real. So we're going to talk about some of the crazy events that's happened. This may be a little bit more political than I usually do it. And we're gonna chop it up. It's gonna be real open ended. How's 2020 gone so far for you all and all that good stuff. So we're gonna keep it all the way 100 today, as we always do. And maybe some I know I always talk about upcoming stuff and the changes haven't been seen yet, but this weekend, yeah, you're gonna start seeing any videos you want to see, go ahead, see them, because I'm locking my channel down this weekend. It will be under construction. And it's going to be good. So anybody, if you're somebody that you want the smoke, this is one of the few times I become available. If you want to act like the emperor, shows that the emperor has no clothes. If you think you can do that, feel free, bring your ass on. I have no problem debating anybody. And if y'all want to chop it up, because it gets highly annoying when people think it's a wise thing to ambush me or try. It's funny when people try to ambush people on social media and they think they really doing something. I'm like, yo, honestly, that's some pathetic shit. Because I got an email, I got a Facebook. It's not hard to get a hold of me, message me, tell somebody that knows me to reach out, but that ain't really what I want to do. But we're gonna talk about a lot of different things. This is just gonna be a hangout for the new subscribers. Welcome, males and females. This is a male-oriented channel, but I definitely have no problem with women having an opinion as well as having questions, input. Now, whether I take that seriously or not, that's between you and how much common sense what you're saying is. Because at the end of the day, we're all adults here, and common sense is what I adhere to. If you're a dude and you're against common sense, we're gonna have a problem. If you're obviously if you're a female against common sense, but honestly, I don't give men, like a lot of people like to think. I honestly don't see myself as giving men more rope than women. I don't. It's just, which person tries to come with the bullshit. Bullshit is bullshit. I consider myself a pretty good umpire when it comes to stuff like that. I think so. Now, whether other people think that, that's up to them, but whatever. If you hear me mashing some of these buttons, yes, I am playing Mortal Kombat. Like, one thing I might do is I might start doing some Twitch streams or whatever. I need to go back and get back into Twitch, doing some stuff like that just to be a little different. I don't really want to take a whole bunch of hodgepodge of bullshit and start mashing on the channel, although you may see some experimental videos just to see how you all react to it. And then if I can branch off to another channel once I get the production stuff right, I will. But anyway, as far as the title as well, 2020 Part 2, what does that mean? That means is all you niggas thought 2021 is going to be different. And you all were given 5 days until Dr. Dre had an aneurysm. Remember, the first part of the year was ushered in with some simping when it came to Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg was talking all that shit, and at the end of the day, he bent the knee. And when it comes to Dre, I'm not gonna. Here's the thing: who am I to talk about the dude's got as much money as he's got and all of that? And as far as he's concerned, is it really that big of a deal to him? He's probably like, okay, 2 times 12 is 24, so that's 24 million. That's assuming this is gonna go along a year, which it's not. And it's like, I need to do something to where the judge is gonna basically really get this bitch off my back while I go ahead and deal with her. Because remember, it is just a temporary thing. I will give Dre credit. And at the end of the day, Dre's already demonstrated that he knows how to play the long game. So when it comes to, I guess, his own situation, the fact that he even got her in that situation, keep in mind she is a non-black woman, says that, at this point he probably trying to put a time out and give her something. before he deals with it. And yeah. Then we go into this DC stuff. I'm gonna tell you right now, AM1, I'm in the camp that there's a lot of people, and I was gonna say this in my opening dialogue. There's a lot of people that I respect, that I know are not liars, that I know they believe what they believe, and I know that they got common sense, and I mean more than common sense. You know, Erica will say it's staged, but I'm in the camp that there may be some parts to some shit, but I don't think nobody has said like what ratios of it being staged is, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't believe that shit was just 100% staged. Yeah, appreciate the super chat, Utopia. That shit, I don't believe that. BGS doesn't believe that. I mean, Glendon Cameron doesn't believe that, because I know kind of Erica said something and he kind of made a comment. It wasn't a big deal at all if you miss it, but he made a comment saying, you know, yeah. So it's interesting because this is one of those things where kind of, well, what you believe. And I see people sharing pictures. They're showing pictures of one person looking like the other person, more than one picture. So it's not like one of those things where motherfuckers just talking shit and then they're not presenting any kind of facts. That being said, you know, people say shit is staged. I mean, there's degrees to that. You got people saying the whole Floyd, like it's like, okay, that's staged. COVID ain't. I'm not putting everybody in the same boat. I'm just talking about the things I'm talking about. COVID ain't real. You know, all of these state capitals, nobody reported on the news that happened is staged. You know, nobody said that the thing to kidnap Gretchen Whitmer of the governor of Michigan was staged. But my point is, you saw stuff that happened. You saw stuff that led up to this that was before this. And actually, there was a lot of state capitals that folks had to leave. So, I mean, it's kind of like, it's almost like, and I can't just I can tell you right now, I don't believe the shit was like just some straight up, it was staged 100%. But do I believe that is it possible that there's people that came up in there on some bullshit? Sure. But another thing too that we know that there's a lot of police officers that think like they think like these people that were there. So it seems staged because people would be like, well, how would you let them do that? But at the end of the day, that's one thing about the government. One thing about American government is, yes, there is deep state shit, but that stuff for the most part you never see. That's all unified. That shit you never really see. When it comes to stuff out front like that, you know, it's way too many folks that don't agree, don't like each other, have their own agendas for variety. I'm not even talking about Republicans, Democrats. Ted Cruz is a Republican, but really Ted Cruz is not really a Republican. Ted Cruz is for Ted Cruz. He's really kind of like a quasi-liberal, libertarian Republican that really says crazy shit, or not crazy shit, but says like really off the wall shit in order to kind of take the smoke off the fact that really he's a liberal. He's more liberal than he tries to act like he is. Canadian immigrant. Is a lot of things that does not reflect what you would think Republican conservatism is. Take it off his trail. Then you got to add in the fact that he's in Texas, where his brand of what conservatism is really, it wouldn't be that hard to get him knocked out if people were really focused on that. And I don't really think the best Ted Cruz is ever going to do if he doesn't leave early is be a senator. Once that's over, he'll be, you know, he may be somebody that can galvanize people and get money to do that, but he'll never have the same power position. Well, first, AM1, I don't pay attention to just what's pushed on MSNBC. You know, I got a variety, you know, I got BGS, I got Professor Black Truth, I got Jason Black, I got my own people that I look at certain things that I don't talk about. You know, shout out to the code breakers. There's a variety. I do my own research on stuff and look at stuff like really CNN and MSNBC. CNN, like I only watch that because I work from home. And when it comes to stuff like that, that's just the stuff to say that's what the headlines are. But at the end of the day, that's one thing about the government. One thing about American government is, yes, there is deep state shit. But when it comes to stuff out front like that, you know, there is way too many folks that don't agree, don't like each other, have their own agendas for variety. I'm not even talking about Republicans, Democrats. Ted Cruz is a Republican, but really Ted Cruz is not really a Republican. Ted Cruz is for Ted Cruz. He's really kind of like a quasi-liberal, libertarian Republican that really says crazy shit in order to take the smoke off the fact that really he's a liberal. Then you got to add in the fact that he's in Texas, where his brand of what conservatism is really, it's way too But as far as the details, I don't believe none of that shit. So yeah, granted, it's most people are doing that, but at the end of the day, man, the shit they saying ain't just outright, fucking fiction. We know what their role is. Their role is really to make money, and their role is to keep you watching. I've had to tell my own family that shit. Y'all need to stop watching TV so much as far as CNN. But this idea that everybody's just lying about everything, the biggest reason why I don't trust that either is because the truth is they don't have to do it. AM1, if they want to make you do something, America does not have to manipulate you to do it. They don't have to manipulate the mass population. They can make you do it. Think about it. How many people have restaurants, business? I'm talking small business, but you can go look at corporate business too. When retail, it's been a retail apocalypse for like 18 months, even before COVID. That shit just shot motherfuckers in the head, in the nuts, everywhere in between. To suffer before they died, just accelerated the shit. But when you look at small businesses, people that they have their life invested in their business. The government just said it's over for right now. That's all they had to say. People could say, well, they're doing a pandemic. No. The pandemic is different in every state, generally. And it's being approached slightly differently in every state, like California. So if they want to say it's over, you're done doing this, that's all they have to say. The most heat that you're really seeing, and let's be clear here, George Floyd's situation was worse than what's going on in the Capitol. That's just worse in a way because that makes America look bad. But as far as like actual kinetic damage, I mean, it really wasn't nothing that was done. But obviously, the police didn't antagonize that because there's some things going on there. Hell, even Tariq Nasheed, when they come, I don't listen to Tariq Nasheed as much as I used to, but Tariq Nasheed just don't go what's on CNN. So I mean, come on now. We make a lot, like I get like the normal people, but we're in this. We're here. We're in the manosphere right now. In the manosphere, what's on CNN and what's on the media is not necessarily presented as that's what it is because it's there. People gotta do better than that here. So you're in a space, you're in a space where what's on CNN, MSNBC ain't necessarily was looked at. But it does give me insight. Like when I hear white people calling other white people terrorists, that's something you usually don't hear every day. When I hear that from Republicans, when I hear people knowing, I'm not even talking about necessarily Biden. I'm talking about Republicans. When they sitting there and saying if they would have been white or black, it would have been a different type of, Joe Scarborough said, and I know he's on MSNBC, but and I know they're full of shit, but he said, because I know about what the Tamir Rice is up, but he said, if they would have been black, they would have been shot in the face, but white, they would have been sniped. So that kind of gives you a kind of aura as to, okay, what's being allowed to kind of be spoken and not spoken. So it does give you some insight as to at least in this moment where you are. Now, as far as the details, no, you should be watching CNN and stuff for details and MSNBC. The real details of what happened. And that shit goes both ways to a lot of different stuff. Like, I forget who it was. Young Grizzly said this when I was interviewing him. He said, when it comes to the Breonna Taylor situation, that situation is not as cut and dry as people like to make it sound like, even black people. People want to say, oh, this is a black woman, protect women. But I'm gonna tell you something. What the media doesn't tell you either is the relationship she had with the dude that actually caused them to knock on the door. Now, how they went about it may have been wrong, but even with the details, the details can go both ways. And there are plenty of women, black women in particular, but women in general out there that they know they're the dudes they fucking with are doing dirt, and they don't. It's like things don't happen till they happen, but they don't put the risks out there. Like a lot of us got family members that are out there doing dirt. And so you all know the risk of being in proximation of them, depending on what they are doing. Okay, yeah, government means mind control, dude. But government, come on, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it gets to a point, AM1, where some of that stuff can be kind of perceived as just straight anarchy. which nobody is really co-signing any kind of serious numbers. It's like anarchy. Don't believe nothing you see. Anarchy. Government has to exist from well, shit. Here, man. I mean, well, bringing race into it is not dumb. I mean, bringing race into it is a big part of it because black people. I mean, shit. If you got something to say, I mean, you know, it's been a minute since I talked to you. Here's the link. But it absolutely, like you saying, bring race into it. Absolutely. Everything in America is perceived between race, class, and gender. I mean, bringing race into it, if it would have been black people, you would have never saw that if it would have been black people. So race is not designed to take away from what you're talking about. But what I'm saying is there's, even when you look at political parties, there's two, like everybody ain't in on everything. Like 100%. Like everybody ain't in on it. Like 100% like that. Everybody ain't aware. I mean, shit. There's better ways. One thing about America that I know is America is very good at doing political theater. It's very good at that. So you have to always ask yourself, why this? Why that? Because America can do it better than anybody. America is very good at playing the long game. So what is the point of letting a whole bunch of white folks go into your go literally into Congress and literally do that to the point where they're getting, what is the purpose? If you, that's one thing you got to ask yourself. What really is the purpose? I mean, shit, you could even say, what's the purpose of people letting people knock out the towers if you want to believe that? That's a pretty much clear-cut purpose. It gives you precursor to do a lot of really immediate things because it gets the public in the media. But the truth is, white people don't really get bent out of shape about what other white people do. I mean, hell, if you're gonna justify taking over guns and stuff, the best way to do it is let people kill people. That's the best way to achieve that. And even when white people are shooting up elementary schools, you don't see white people really willing to give up their guns. So if killing children is not going to do it, going in some fucking Capitol ain't going to do it. Now, I know you're not calling me dumb. It'd be a different conversation if you was calling me dumb. I know you're talking about the point is dumb. That's why I'm re-explaining the point. Wow. And so AM1, see, this is, I'm glad you said that. Cause AM1, now remember what, okay. So I want y'all to understand something. When I do what I do, this is not about me having to be right. This is about me saying, okay, let's really get to the rug here. Where's the split really? Because one thing I don't like to do is I don't like to argue with people, and I'm not arguing with you anymore. I'm just saying, like, argue with people. And it's like, okay, we don't even know what the fuck we're arguing about. At this point, we don't really have the fine line to where the split is. Look, and then it becomes some emotional shit. So a lot of times I'll do what I do in order. I need to find where is the actual split here as to what the issue is. So that's it. You and me have different opinions on anarchy. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong as far as the actual definition. I'm just saying you tend to be a lot more libertarian than what I am. You're a lot more libertarian than what I am. That's what that sounds like. And so your view on government, I'm not for. I don't care about big government. My philosophy on government is government should be small enough that you don't feel like it's overwhelming, but it should be something where it's like a post. I look at government like a post office. You don't know where the post office is, but when you need to go to it, you know where the fuck it is. It ain't hard at all to find it. That's how I see government. That's my personal view on government. Also, one vector people don't pay attention to when they look at like rule is they look at government versus looking at corporations, which I know you know about. AM1 is the collection of corporations and the private sector and their ability to control and influence events. which is a vector a lot of people don't talk about. Yeah, it is a good analogy because it is a good analogy because when people need shit to happen, they don't want to have to really look to find it, but they don't want the shit to where it's like, goddamn, the shit's everywhere. And I think that's what that's a good bedrock as to government. And the way I look at that philosophy is government should be as efficient and as small as it can, and technology should be implemented to make that happen. But at the same time, it does need to be large enough to be able to deal with the challenges that come up. COVID's a perfect example of this. You know, people forget about all the cuts that's happened to government. Also, the problem is we look at where government is being allocated. You know, America believes in putting an extremely strong military out. When you look at where we are in the United States, even regionally, like the Northeast or the West Coast, in comparison to other countries, we really are not structurally where we should be. You know, the people always talk about the 5G, the cell phones and stuff. Why is that not as fast as in Europe or in some parts of Asia? It's because we forced the major companies to foot that bill versus other countries. Now, granted, these countries are smaller than ours, so they can kind of get away with doing this, and they're made up a little bit differently, but they foot the bill to build a structure. That's why when you have like rural areas, especially now, that's another thing people are not keeping in mind, that everybody cannot live on the coast anymore. That's not going to happen in the future as global warming starts to take hold and the shit starts to rise. People are going to have to start, and America still has a lot of land. People are going to have to start using it. But in order to use that, you have to build that infrastructure. And too many people get caught up in philosophy of shit and not the business of doing it. And I am more pragmatic about the business of doing it. I'm all about the details as well, but I think people get caught up in the tug of war of what shit it's supposed to be, rather than the action items that need to be done to actually keep America where it is, keep America where it needs to be. And I think a lot of that shit is first world problems. A lot of what people talk about philosophically speaking is the benefits of being in the first world. I mean, Biden's not going to be that much different than Trump. And I'm not caping for Biden, but I mean, I think about it. What has really changed between, like, I've been over 18 through the second term, Bush's second term, Obama's whole term, now Trump's one term. And then I'm very aware of Bill Clinton. What has really changed for black men from a governmental standpoint? I can show you economically certain things that have changed. Our problem tends to not be government based. Our problem tends to be what we invest in as a collective group versus what we get out of. And a lot of that comes back to, as a collective group, black men has invested in the idea that it's a we when you call it a black community, and not just black men investing in some group of bitches. And basically the women just believing, yeah, shout out to Bitcoin. I hope Bitcoin keeps coming up for people that's investing in it. Absolutely. I don't want to see people lose their money. And I deal with crypto in different ways other than just straight in. There's ways to accelerate investing in Bitcoin if that's something that some people are interested in. You know, what people don't think about, you know, one thing I never hear with crypto is people always talk about invest in Bitcoin. Like which here's the thing, Bitcoin is rising, but I think a lot of the investment strategies I just don't hear in the details that I think should be heard. It's all just buy Bitcoin. It's going up, rather than, okay, what are ways for you to make more money so you can accelerate, your investment in Bitcoin. You let certain people tell it, they'll tell you to put all your money into Bitcoin. If you got like, if you got, X amount of dollars, fuck your emergency fund, fuck everything, put it all in Bitcoin, go all in. And I understand that people are excited about certain things, but they never say, okay, this is what you need to do to kind of invest in something to get more money or like flip. Because if you're trying to accelerate an investment, I mean, you have as much money as you have. So obviously, the more money you can invest in something, the more, if it's going up, the return on that you can get. So the best way to do that is to get a hustle and create it. And I know AM1, you do the videography, but to get a hustle that you can maximize that will allow you to reinvest those gains into something that's already going up. But people never talk about that. Jim Rat says Biden and Kamala, the cop, are importing illegal immigrants and granting visas to 500,000 Indians. Okay. I mean, the Indian thing is something they were going to do for a long time because honestly, that fucks up white people. The Indian thing fucks up white people more than anybody because that fucks up the tech industry where a lot of white people are, because that's mainly. So Indians have like kind of a triangle when you look at their economy in the United States. They have the small businesses that you typically see. They have the tech industry that they work in. It's actually, no, you have it's actually, if you could look at it four ways, you have the tech industry, what they're known for. You have the professional jobs like doctors and stuff that they're known for. They're starting to be known for. You have the small business class that they have, which is in areas they are like dry cleaner, shit like that. Then you have, the motel industry, which is generally their long-term investment platforms that they got like 44% of the United States motel, not hotel, but motel industry. So when you bring 500,000 Indians in, they're bringing those Indians in for one reason. That's a gift to the tech industry to undercut white people that are mainly white men in particular that are making money. So 500,000 Indians those motherfuckers are not doing blue collar work. So they don't affect black men economically. Hispanics affect us a lot more. So I'm not worried about Indians. I'm not. So when people say that, I really don't care. White people, like liberal, honestly, like if you're liberal, like if you're a white man and you're liberal and you work in tech, you should be angry about that, because that shit is basically giving money to like tech companies that have so much more money. That's just bringing labor here rather than bringing it somewhere else. And because most of them that are coming over here, that's the main reason they're coming. That's one of the main job opportunities coming in. They'll filter into other stuff. But Indians don't really compete in the markets that black men compete in, primarily the labor market, the labor markets. As far as the Hispanics, well, like I said, that's a different story. But ultimately, black men that are productive black men, that's enough of us to where people will find a way to make shit happen. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about, Jim Rat. I'm sure AM1 knows all about that, being in California. I know what the fuck I'm talking. I mean, I know a lot of I know quite a few Indians. There's a lot of Indians here. Like, there's a whole town. Mooresville is literally where the airport is, where they're like, trust me, I know how they move. They move in groups, and they move in groups. You pretty much almost need to put them on par with Jewish people, how they move. So I'm very aware. So yeah, but the thing about it is, man, like my thing is, folks, this is the thing that kills me. Folks, like, it's all emotional. And I don't look at business from an emotional standpoint. When you hear somebody talk about Bitcoin, it's always emotional. Because the truth is, when Bitcoin fucking sucks, them motherfuckers get kind of quiet. Because, and what's going to happen is, folks, if Bitcoin crashes because China does something or something happens, people are going to get quiet. And then what's going to happen is people going to start saying that shit's a scam because y'all are like telling everybody to give their life to Bitcoin. My thing is it a smart investment? Sure. But you tell somebody that's got like, let's say $5,000 in the bank, you got people saying you should put all 5,000 in Bitcoin. Man, there's motherfuckers that they will mortgage their goddamn house for Bitcoin, and then right before that shit fell. Just like stocks is a very good investment, but you have to be intelligent about how you do everything. And what happens is when people speak like that, they interpret anything other than Bitcoin is God. And I'm not saying that's what y'all are doing in the chat. I'm just saying they have this knee-jerk mechanism where it's kind of like with conservatives, where anything you say is not in perfect alignment with what people want to hear. Oh, you're a communist. And I'm like, okay, so you all are being emotional. You all are being okay, this is what's going on. You know. So, and that's the kind of pushback. That's all I'm saying. You know, Bitcoin is high, invest in Bitcoin. Bitcoin is low. No, you don't. If you think any rule number one of any kind of speculation, anything you think that's peaked, you never invest in that. You if you believe that Bitcoin was peaking at 4K, which I'm not saying it is, you would never telling somebody to invest in that is stupid as fuck. Like, are you? But see, that's the type of shit I'm talking about. People are so excited, and it's funny because then you talk about something like sales or something like that, and then people have these this refractory this like repulsion to it, even though sales has been consistently the best way to make money if you can do it since shit before capitalism, even in mercantilism. And honestly, with black men should be better salesmen than anybody, as much as we talk about fucking game and shit. But because niggas don't want to be rejected, and Bitcoin is better to gamble with your money than it is to be rejected, well, guess what? We're going to push that shit and get excited. And it's to the point now, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, it's gonna be something. It's gonna be a project that I'm gonna come out with when it comes to cryptocurrency soon. As far as something that's gonna come out in like next 90 days, and I already know, cause I already know how you niggas are with Bitcoin. I know how you niggas are with Bitcoin and Forex. Y'all niggas don't think. So if I'm trying to get some paper, and I'm not saying I'm gonna give y'all something that don't work, but if I'm trying to get some paper, I already know what y'all are already ready to buy. And it shouldn't be like that. But, hey. Like, I'm in a group right now that deals with Forex, and it's a whole bunch of black men in it. Whole bunch of black men. Well, last year, Deviants, that's a different situation if you've been in Bitcoin since 2009. Well, congratulations, dude. I am happy for you. That was a very intelligent decision. You got into that shit with the Silk Road and all that. And even Glendon Cameron talked about how much money he made back then. So I'm sure you're good. But I'm talking about people like, shout out to 99 Coins. That's how I kind of got gamed up when it comes to Bitcoin and everything. So yeah, should you educate yourself? One of the things that if you're gonna promote that, I always promote educating yourself. And yeah, ain't nothing wrong with putting like like MT just to put a couple of thousand in Bitcoin and got some return. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not saying to not put nothing in there. Get used to buying cryptocurrency, stuff like that. Play around with it if you got the money. But my thing is, a lot of times, again, here's my thing. And there's nothing wrong with male enlightenment, anybody doing crypto. But my thing is, I want to focus on sales because everybody ain't got money to invest like that. All y'all niggas ain't paid like that. We know what average money black men are bringing in. So Bitcoin ain't going to take them from like zero to like where they need to be. Is it a part of the portfolio that you should be aware of? Sure. You should definitely be educated on a lot of different stuff. Lasher said fiat and Forex will always be the best way. But I've never been the biggest fan of Forex, honestly. But I know that, from an internet marketing perspective, if I want to create like a group of like black men as like a customer base, then like This is what a lot of people don't know. Let's say, okay, you all are passionate about Bitcoin and you're passionate about Forex. There's products that you can actually sell people that actually will educate people that don't know shit about Forex to learn things about Forex. And then it's somebody that's been in it and you can speak intelligently about it. You have a story that can kind of match that. There's products with Bitcoin. There's ways of using like the smart contract technology, which is really good. There's ways of selling products with content creation and stuff like that. And I noticed that when it comes to really Forex more than anything, when it comes to black men, but crypto as well. If I want to develop a customer base when it comes to black men, that's going to be the vector that you go through, because that's where black men have been like really in Forex for a minute. It's just like when you see a lot of people, they talk about credit repair, on Instagram and shit. That's how you look at it. So even if you're not like pushing for people to invest, you can push people and say, hey man, you learn while you earn. And then I'm not talking about no fucking Bitcoin mining, no bullshit like that, because that's a scam. Or cloud mining, that's a scam. I'm talking about like selling education. And then somebody like you that's been investing with Bitcoin for X amount of time and finance, you're very familiar with it. So you would automatically have like in my stuff, I would automatically look for somebody like you, because you would, even if I haven't been in Forex nowhere near as long as you have a certain amount of credibility to it. So you're passionate about it. Clearly you're extremely familiar with it. And then you've been dealing with it. So it's going to be certain ways you can communicate stuff. There's ways of making money other than this. And then you take the income that you get from doing something like that, and then that's initial revenue, and you flip that back into Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is rising, and you let that shit sit until you see it may peak, and then you sell it off. And I don't mean sell it off to just when people sell something, they don't sell it off to just spend it on consumer items. They may sell it off to put it somewhere else. That's all I'm saying. And obviously, if you got the money like MT to kind of put 10K or something like that in Bitcoin to get a good amount of return, then go ahead and do that. I'm not saying not to do that. Yeah, well, appreciate the super chat from Crypto with LYNELL. What's up? Did somebody say crypto? And on my other channel, we'll be talking about crypto. I'll be bringing people on so they can, because I'm not an expert. I know enough to ask intelligent questions, and I'm involved in certain things. Like I have Tron currency. So, and I get paid. Some of my businesses that I'm involved in, sales programs, they actually pay in crypto now. And crypto, I'm interested in because crypto allows me to sell shit across the. There's certain things that I can get access to market wise, like in my program, that I could get access to before because of payment processors and stuff. So I have different reasons of really being interested in crypto. And not saying that y'all don't know what I'm talking about at all. I know y'all do, but I'm just saying is the goal is to educate people on it, not necessarily. And yeah, my thing that I'm always going to be like is tell people, yeah, man, take $50 and buy some crypto, because it's a process even buying it. Not a big process, but it's a learning curve. It's just like getting a passport. You don't just go and get it. It's kind of a couple of little hurdles you got to jump through. And that's what I would promote more than anything, getting them to buy a little bit. Because once they buy a little, I believe, because you can buy crypto with Cash App. Hell, what about PayPal now with crypto? Shout out to Crypto with LYNELL. What's up? Did somebody say crypto? Shout out to Lasher Deviants Gaming. $10. Forex is what I do for a living. My wife is one with the Series 7. And she does fiat trading for a living. Absolutely. What then, dude? Definitely email me, because on my Classic Men Mag, I would definitely want to interview you, because I definitely want to get some stuff. I definitely want to do interviews on stuff like that to show what brothers are out here doing, and it's better for brothers to see it. I mean that. Like, in fact, I'm gonna put my shit in here right now. I think I got it in the subscription. And same thing with you, LYNELL, too. I have certain questions, and I know I have, and other people will have it as well. And that's another thing too. If y'all really want to push crypto hard, it's like, let's get all of the ejections, get all of the frequently asked questions, what I call should be asked questions, and then really go through that. and spread the word. Because I think black men, part of SYSBM, part of black male independence, it's not just about black male independence. Even black people, even with loping into women, you're gonna have to be able to like understand corporations, understand the new America, and that is gonna be a part of the new America. Yeah. So what's been your experience with crypto with PayPal? Because honestly, that was a big deal because so many people use PayPal. One thing about PayPal is people. I am very much annoyed by PayPal as a payment processor. That's why I use it sparingly. I use it more for like how we use it with like the Cash App thing. But the truth is, PayPal is built up. Remember, PayPal comes from Elon Musk as well. People forget that. Who is the richest person in the world now? But PayPal has built up so much trust that the impact. Hell, y'all should thank PayPal for like where Bitcoin is even at. Exactly, Hanamichi, and that's gonna be the biggest thing I'm gonna promote. And then as people get more comfortable with it, you kind of raise what they do. But yes, I'm not gonna lie, crypto is going up. And if you're somebody that you got money in the bank and you ain't got no problem risking it, I mean, yeah, you should transfer some of it in there because you could probably get a good return. And Scott saying get a Patreon. Yes, it is most secure, but it ain't the only thing in town. But what I'm saying is PayPal has got that reputation and an earned reputation. So when they do something, they know people are going to trust PayPal. That's how eBay built this shit up. So yeah, when it comes to different ways of making money, whether it's offline, online, I'm always down to talk about that. Yeah, you're right, Richard. It was a big deal. And to be fair, this is something that black men don't really get credit for talking about enough. Like black men, we just don't. And I see people online that are really excited about this, different types of brothers, and that is a fundamental good thing. It really is. It really is. I mean, I always like to know everything about when it comes to getting money. That's why when Glenn is talking about corporations and that corporate hustle, corporate game, you need to be aware of that. That is something you should know as like a basic thing. Looking for you showcasing our own sales, Edward. That is what I've been into lately until I finally transition into programming. Well, yeah, man, dude, man, sales is a life skill. I mean, programming is great, and you should definitely specialize, especially if that's what you want to do. But sales is something you can go to. Sales is something that can be applied to any profession. Most dudes you're going to be dealing with in programming are not good at sales, so that just help you infinitely better. So and he said I can't do forex groups. I'm not really in forex groups, Jim Rat. Not like the group that I deal with right now. It's actually a business thing. So it's people that actually make money, actually making money doing what they're doing. So it's not really a Facebook groups, but I will say forex groups are good if you're trying to find people to kind of build a relationship with. So it's a Glendon Savage Finance. I would say if you sign up for if any two channels, I'd say Disruptive Mail and Savage Finance. I would say if it's only one, do Savage Finance. I would say those two before even Hustler's Kung Fu. Because the truth is, he hasn't really broken. He hasn't really gotten his Hustler Kung Fu. The algorithm has like targeted his that channel, which I felt bad. That's why he does a lot of experimentation on it. I can see from the outside looking in. But the good thing is the Savage Finance has actually popped off. So a lot of people that really care about what he wants to do, are all piling in the Savage Finance. And he's getting that old stuff with the new people, old people and the new people. And so because that's a different channel, that's accelerating. Last time I checked, Glenn and Cameron was at yeah, if anybody wants to come up, they definitely can. Last time I checked, yeah, Glenn and Cameron's at 23 subscribers. So I mean that's gonna accelerate in growth. You know, there's okay. the better way to answer that question, Hanamichi, is people. If you're trying to, because there's degrees to sales. If you're trying to, Jeffrey Combs of Golden Mastermind, look him up. Dan Locke, um, Jordan Belfort. Jordan Belfort is like hardcore sales, like hardcore sales. Dan Locke kind of is too. Jeffrey Combs is very good. He's more like dealing with the mental on sales better than any of them. So I actually push a lot of people to him, and he has like a lot of he has a podcast he's been running for literally almost 30 years. That's infinite information. He has books and all that. They all do. There's a fucking well, Billie Jean is good. Go to Billie Jean's YouTube channel. Okay, LYNELL. I'll definitely check. Cause that email is specific for hell, Glendon is good for sales. But yeah, man. Those are the guys, and from there you'll find anybody else is relevant. But those are the guys, and there's some really incredible playlists I need to put together that really can kind of break a lot of stuff down. Freedom Influencer is a good YouTube channel. Refusing to Settle is a good YouTube channel. There's some black dudes out there that's killer in sales too. They just don't put themselves out there like that. Anyway, so going back to some of the other stuff, current events. Let's go through. We already talked about the DC shit. Really. Yeah, you click the link. You want to come on. I mean, with the DC shit, man. You know, that's as Samuel Jackson said, that's a white man with white problems on Die Hard 3. That's on them. This is a white country. Everybody know white people run it. And so when shit like that happens, they know how full of shit America is. So that makes white people look bad. So that's between them. I don't really care. Even though that shit's 4 hours away from me, I don't really give a shit. I really don't. You know, I actually just went into the meeting with my my job, and working from home is permanent now for us. So that's crazy. So now, like, this is serious thing. It's no longer like a temporary thing. So really, I'm gonna be doing that for the foreseeable future until I decide to transition back into full time self employment. So I'm pretty much might as well be self employed now, based on how I do this job, just with a contract. So what is up, Lynell? It's the first time up.
Yeah, man. What's going on? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. So yeah, so anything you want to talk about, like crypto, forex, whatever. At this point, this is kind of like an open-ended thing, so it can transition a lot of different things. But obviously, I'm sure you came up for the crypto stuff.
Yeah, somebody said crypto, so my crypto sensors start to go off, and I had to look for who said crypto, and I found your channel.
Oh, there's always somebody saying something when it comes to crypto.
Yeah.
Apparently, Solo is supposed to come out with a like a ebook or something, a course, getting people
hmm
involved in crypto, which is another thing, man. If a lot of y'all know a lot about crypto, you know, you do have like free platforms to create courses that kind of, because everybody may come at it from a unique perspective. You know what I'm saying? Based on their experience level with it and stuff like that. And there's actually, you know, a following people can gather, money people gather just by talking about something that you're passionate about. It depends on if people really want to do that, you know, because everybody doesn't. But yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't mean no disrespect the channel, but I on my channel I do talk about crypto all the time. That's the only
Okay.
subject I talk about. My
No, that's why I mentioned it. Yeah.
yeah, my
So, what's your channel name so I can put in the link?
well, the new channel is Crypto with Lynell. My other channel got terminated by YouTube. I
Damn.
had
What?
yeah, I, I had like
Or is that a
855
whole story?
videos. I had
Oh God.
855 videos, and they sent me an email on the 24th of December, day before Christmas, saying that my channel incited violence and encouraged people to violate YouTube guidelines. And I can't figure out why. Every time I ask them on Twitter, they say refer to the YouTube guidelines, but they don't know, but they don't tell me what specific rule I broke. And I talk about crypto religiously. That's the only subject I talk about. I don't talk about nothing else. And they got clapped. So I'm starting over. The new channel is Crypto with Lynell.
How many subscribers did you have?
I just reached 1,000, and I just reached the 4,000 hours mark to be able to receive income from YouTube.
Okay, so from those, yeah, but them videos, damn, see, and you shouldn't have to back shit up. That goes back to this is Lynell's channel. Definitely support him, especially in that situation, because like I said, I mean, we got some crypto people, but it's not something that's highlighted as much as it could be. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like I'd say like male enlightenment, because he kind of applies that to the other stuff. But we do need like specific channels, like channels that don't really reach into the easy view stuff, channels that are more of the action item type of channels, that can
Yeah.
kind of be filtered through the thing. But I know, man, I'd be pissed with 850 videos, especially if yeah.
Yeah, and that's all I talk about. And after so long, you learn a lot. Um, I know people mention it. Yeah, Bitcoin's at $40,000. It doubled in price since December 16. It's on a tear. A lot of people ask, well, what's driving this? What's driving it? And the difference between 2017 bull run and 2020 bull run is we having more institutional investors, we having more countries come to the space, we having more deep pocketed individuals, high net worth individuals, we're having more family offices come to the space, we're having more institutions looking to purchase Bitcoin to put it on their balance sheet to have exposure to Bitcoin. So now with that amount of money coming to the space, obviously that amount of money is more than retail investors can pony up. And retail investors just an investor that's not an institution. So they're
Yeah.
pushing the money up. Well, they're pushing the price of Bitcoin up.
So I want to get into this. Would be kind of a precursor to what I may do when it comes to my classic mid mag channel. But I'm gonna ask you some questions. These are not hard questions.
Oh shoot!
These are if somebody were to invest, let's say they invested. When did it start its bull run?
It started its bull run back in March 20. Well, this current bull run, March 2020.
All right, so let's say they invested in, we'll say August, September, October, November. So like July. So half a year, they invested $1,000. What would that $1,000 be worth now?
Well, okay. So what I'll do, I'm going to the charts real quick to see what's the what was
Yeah, no, take your time. This is not about being a knee jerk. I want to give like a number that like some people could either do or stretch to do to give them kind of an idea of, because obviously that momentum is even stronger now than it was then. So yeah, take your time, but yeah, some
okay.
people can wrap their mind around.
Yeah. So the time frame you picked again was when?
It was August, like the last 6 months.
August. August. I'm looking for
I mean,
August right
yeah,
now.
just the last 6 months.
Okay, no problem. So in August, the price was around $11,888. So from then to now, the price increased 256.10%. So you said if someone had put $1,000 when the price was at 11,000,
So
right?
they would have what, like 2,200, roughly, a little bit more.
So 1,000 times 200, let's say 257%.
Yeah, because
Two
that's
thousand $2,570.
yeah. So they would have 2,500. That's how much that would be now.
Hmm.
Okay, so because and just FYI, MT he's been posting that on his stuff. He's just now started investing in Bitcoin. So it's not like I'm talking about, oh well, you had to do it there. It's just to give somebody an idea, because you have people that they're going to be getting stimulus money. Everybody's not in a situation where they need to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, use that to pay bills. Some people still got jobs, still got stuff, is still moving, and that's just money they're gonna be getting. So it's definitely something you might want to, think about parking that there rather than in your bank account. Um,
Yeah, with your bank account, with your bank checking account, savings account, money market account, the uh, APR, APY you get in those are less than 1%. So if you were to have $1,000 in there, you're getting less than 1%. So you're getting maybe a dollar, $2 at the end of the year. If you were to have, it's just $1,000 sitting in there. So this does pose a possibility of receiving a higher ROI if you were to put your money into just or leave it in a checking, savings, and money market. Now, please be advised, yes, it's on a bull run, but this is just like any other investment, such as your Teslas, your Apples, your Amazon, and so forth and so forth, where there is a risk of the market goes up, down, and sideways. That's investing. The markets go, price goes up, down, and sideways. So prices never go up forever. Prices never go down forever. Prices never go sideways forever. So just if a person were to invest in crypto slash Bitcoin, you need to understand that it is an investment.
Yeah. And this is why, if anything I promote, and I see you, Carl, appreciate you coming up. This is why I talk about, like, it, definitely, if people wanted to be zealot like about people knowing what it is, excuse me, knowing what it is, getting very familiar with it, at least buying some Bitcoin. So at least they are familiar with the process of buying it, the different avenues of buying it. Yeah, that's definitely something that, like, really, it should be no reason anybody should be against that. And you should push that as hard as you can.
Now, the risk of sounding crazy, who's MT?
MT is master teacher.
Oh, yeah, I
He's
know him. I know him. Yeah,
Yeah, so he talk,
no
how he
master
is. He
teacher.
talks about a lot of the other, stocks and
Yeah.
funds and stuff. So he kind of has a big credibility that, like, I think he took like $10,000 and put it in. He can put more into it so he can get more out of it because he can put more into it.
Hmm.
So he was giving some of his results, which are definitely favorable. So anyway, so yeah, that's just one thing to keep in mind. That's the one thing I would push on to everybody, even like, cause I got family members that are older that they're like scared, and I tell them, I say, look, you ain't got a lot to do. Look at these videos when it comes to crypto. Get familiar with it. I got motherfuckers, they won't even deal with Cash App because they think shit's gonna be hacked and stolen as far as your money. So you say this is how money is moving. So yeah. So anyway, what's up, Carl? I know Carl heard crypto and came through as well. So yeah, we talk about just getting money. I guess that's what this topic is gonna be about. So what's up, man? The floor is yours.
Um, well, I'm looking at a couple different coins right now. Last week I put a list together of coins that were below $3, and let me see. Hold on, I'm bringing up my coin. Uh,
So, just off the back, you said you made a list of coins below $3.
Yeah,
I would advise people, and this is not financial advice. This is more on a logical basis. Um,
Time out, time out. None of this is financial advice. Assume we three niggas that don't know shit. Anything you do
yeah,
is with that assumption. Is with that assumption. That's it. Go
yeah,
ahead. You're
and
listening to this for entertainment,
or
infotainment. Go
yeah.
ahead.
So obviously, we all humans. Hopefully, we all have a common human psychology, and that's what trading is based off of. That human psychology. So when people look and they hear about crypto, when they see Bitcoin, the last time they heard Bitcoin, it was at $3,000, $4,000 just a few months ago. Now it's at $40,000. Oh man, I
No,
got to get in.
I had Bitcoin back in 2015. It was like $2-3.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about in general, not specifically you. I mean, in
Yeah,
general.
Yeah,
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 yeah. He
yeah,
talk
Yeah,
about how most people like they
yeah.
perceive it in their mind. Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
they saying, well, I gotta get this. Now they're saying, well, I can't afford the $40,000. Maybe I can afford these other coins, hopefully they will
Oh, okay.
be
I get your point.
right, a Bitcoin come out to Bitcoin. So on a logical standpoint, people have to understand, when you are investing, you have to make sure the liquidity is there in that asset you're investing in. So say like let's say a person finds a crypto that's $1 and they say, well, what if it goes to $10? Yeah, it's fine. Then it could go to $10. We don't know. Time will tell. But please understand that if the daily volume does not support you selling that coin or asset in general, if it goes, and this applies to the stock world also, if it goes to $10, if it has a thin volume, a thin 24-hour volume, then no one is going to be there to buy what you're selling, which means, let's say it goes from $1 to $10. You didn't take the extra money, you put $100 in, and you got $1,000, and you're trying to sell it real quick to get a PS5. Well, you may have to wait a couple days to get your money out, opposed to Bitcoin, that if you want to sell or buy Bitcoin, you can do it immediately. So you
You
got to
can do
make
that with
sure.
other coins too. It's just you have to use different processes than what most people are accustomed to using.
Yeah.
Well,
That's just it.
not
That's
all.
why. That's why a lot of like when they create coins like based on Tron, not based on Tron, based on Ethereum. Because Ethereum is the second one that would probably have the most liquidity, right? Other than Bitcoin. That's why those coins tend to be favored. But it's just another thing to keep in mind. It's like these are things. I'm glad he's saying this because look, both of y'all are like big. Like he's Bitcoin. His whole channel. If you look at his channel, it's like the technical part of Bitcoin. So not even like promoting Bitcoin, like really going about it. So nobody's really against Bitcoin here. It's one of those things that you got to keep in mind that people don't think about, where they think about, but there's also advantages to deal with the young the smaller coins too, which I'm gonna get to you on, Carl. So yeah, finish what you're gonna say, and then I'm gonna get to Carl as far as the advantages of dealing with the smaller coins.
Yeah, what I'm saying is not all coins have the liquidity to support that buying and selling when the price gets to their target price of where everybody want to sell. Not all coins have that, because 70% of the crypto market is Bitcoin. And then you have to add in Ethereum's market cap, XRP's market cap, Litecoin, Cardano, Bitcoin Cash market cap. So the lower you get down
Yeah,
on the list of
because I have
cryptocurrencies,
Tron, and Tron is
right?
based on Ethereum. So
Right. So the lower you, right, exactly. So the lower you down you get on the list of the market cap or of cryptocurrencies per its market cap, the lower the liquidity tends to be. So I'm not sitting up here saying, oh no, don't do that. I'm not wagging my finger with a ruler in it. I'm saying is you have to look out for those aspects of coins you're going to invest in. That's all I'm saying.
yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Carl.
what I'm looking at is a 3 to 5 year hold. I'm not looking for a day trading opportunity or even in a month to month opportunity.
So you're
I'm
looking
looking
at like
for
penny stocks.
no. I'm looking for a 3 to 5 year hold in something like EOS.
Well,
So
when I say that, I mean like how people get penny stocks, not to day trade penny stocks. They get penny
yeah,
stocks in order to hold them because they know it can. Same thing that you said when you had Bitcoin, like the Bitcoin in '09. It's kind of
yeah. I
okay.
mean,
Go ahead.
not even '09. I remember it was like December of 2015, 16, bro. Bitcoin was $3, $4, $5. And even back then, people were just they weren't really on it. They were on it when it went up to like 3,000. And then they got on it when it went up to like 10. But before it even hit 1,000, people were not on it. And the same thing with EOS. I told people when EOS first came out, like, it's less than $1. You need to buy $100 worth. You know how many coins that'll be? And people are like, okay. And now EOS, when Bitcoin makes its move, EOS usually moves right behind.
I
I
I
mean,
want. I don't mean to cut you off. I want to give the super chat shout out to Lasher. He says what's driving it is the eventual collapse of U.S. fiat currency. If this stuff
mhm.
leads to the collapse of U.S. banking currency system, crypto, basic, yeah, but that's more of a longer term thing. If that happens, like people think that is, there's gonna be other stuff in between that that's gonna drive that.
the hyper the
CR
hyperinflation.
yeah, CR Frank. That is another thing. CR Frank, $10. Appreciate it. I've been holding since 2015. So like Carl, watch a car, inspire hybrid, looking for proof of stake, earn while you sleep. Yeah, I keep telling Carl, y'all, if Carl just started to do kind of what I do, just turn his phone on and just start talking shit. I mean, he would pass me really quickly, like for real. But hey, he got other shit to do. So I will
Bro, I'm
say
trying. I'm trying to run 4 businesses, bro. I
no,
can't.
I get that. I get that. That's why I don't bug you too much. But one thing I want to read where I'll cut you off is one thing. It's a better mindset to have a buy and hold mindset than it is to have a speculation mindset. I'm not against speculation, but what a lot of times I hear crypto being pushed, by a lot of people is via speculation versus I'm more buying the buy a whole type. So that's just a better mindset in investing anyway, in my opinion, on anything, to be honest. But anyway, continue, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, the buy and hold mindset is very simple, man. You read the white paper, you read the basic information about the coin, the utility, what is the usage, is there a market for it, and how popular and the volume of the coin is being produced. If you come to a conclusion that this coin has a basis in the market, you buy into the coin. Now, what I would say to do is get it as early as possible. Because Tron right now is like 3 cents or some shit. And get it as early. I mean,
Yeah.
like when it's like that, go ahead and spend the few little $100 it takes to get 1,000 coins. And this is something that you hold. You looking out 10, 15 years to cash this. But it is a long-term holding for you as a person. When it comes to something like EOS is a 3 to 5 because I do think it's going to pop in the next 3 to 5. When it first came out, everybody was talking about it's going to move over Ethereum. Like it's going to be the next level of for Ethereum-based coins. So I do think that it does have roots and it has ground to grow. It's just that it's going to take a minute for it to cross over from the people who follow Ethereum and they realize that EOS is a better platform when it comes to using as a ledger. So once that happens, you're going to see it pop. It's just going to just
Yeah,
go
because
from
Ethereum,
three.
Ethereum has a lot of admin fees. Ethereum, let's just say Ethereum is great, but Ethereum has a lot of what's called kind of growing pains kind of thing. Because people,
Yeah.
even understanding the nature of like Bitcoin versus Ethereum, because people will then ask, well, why is it all these coins? What is the purpose of all these coins? Well, I'm not an expert here. I know when it comes to Bitcoin and Ethereum, is like Ethereum is a better platform as far as like Bitcoin was kind of like the first thing, and Ethereum was more kind of created more like with the idea of how this thing could be applied to different stuff. So that's why Ethereum has gotten like popular like it has. The thing about Ethereum though is it has a lot of admin stuff, management stuff. It's had growing pains, so people have looked for different things as to how to get around all them fees. Because again, you don't deal with that as much if you're doing the buy and hold. But if you're moving money around, you can run. It's not a big issue, but it's things that people may find a little inconvenient. So the same thing with why Litecoin is this. And like I said, I always tell people 99 coins will get you gamed up, and then you can go to like other channels to kind of people that you buy with their personality. But anyway, yep,
Most definitely. You definitely want to try to hold 100 or better in whatever coin you see having the long term advantage for you. Um, because, like I said, hitting early retirement off of this is very simple, man. You want to get your hands on it. You want to put it on a cold storage wallet that you have access to and keep it safe. And when it's time to cash it out, cash it out. And, what I would do is I would go get, especially if you're making money, go get a secondary citizenship in another country, and and then cash it out in another country.
yeah, that's
Because
smart.
yeah, you don't have to worry about any taxation or anything like that, because you can open up a bank account underneath a foreign identity. Because when you go get the secondary citizenship, you don't have to use your personal name or information. You can, get a new identity.
Yeah,
So yeah. Oh, so with crypto, yeah, it can help people get a better ROI. It can help people make money, but don't feel that if you have not made a lot of money in crypto, don't feel bad because crypto can do multiple things. Yes, there's going to be a lot of people, like Edward said, one of the master teacher did put $10,000 in it and he did get a good ROI. But like Edward said, he was able to put more in it, so thus he got
yeah,
more out. But don't feel because if you don't have that much to put in, don't feel that you can't do it. With crypto and the gains that it's making, yeah, it can help you, like Carl said, retire early, depending on how much money you put in it. But also, it can help you pay some bills off. It can help you pay off a credit card. It can help you pay off a loan, student loan, child support, anything, some parking tickets. It can help you also either put a dent in some debt that you have. If you even do those things, it's a success. Don't feel that, oh, if I don't have X amount, because the average American family and even the average black male, woman, or family do have a certain limit of income. If you're able to put in enough money in order to get rid of some bills, in order to put a dent in some bills, in order to alleviate some stress, some financial stress on your life, it's widely known, if you have less financial stress in your life, you live longer. That is a win. You have to understand that. That's a win.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely a great point. And the thing about it is, a lot of stuff. Here's the thing: you people can look at crypto, forex, sales, a lot of this stuff, but all this stuff comes back to your own mindset on things. Shout out to Saving Minus Debt, because he could be kind of a soup Nazi about it or a debt Nazi about it. Kind of like what's the dude's name? The white dude that has that Dave Ramsey. I'm not as far on that. I'm not like as anti credit as that, but I do understand how our people are. And so when people talk about buys and holds and stuff like that, I understand kind of the pot. When I say poverty mindset, I mean folks need, like, most people live in check to check. All right, so you have very real things and very real times that people deal with, and that creates a different mindset. You know, it's easy to talk about buying whole when, or talk about saving when you're in a position where you, when I say position, I mean you've put yourself in that position. That doesn't necessarily have to do with how much money. You could be somebody making six figures and still have a poverty mindset because you playing keeping up with the Joneses and shit. This is why these chicks out here talk about I need a nigga that make, like, how the fuck are you in North Carolina talking about you need a nigga that makes six figures? I don't know. I live here and I live in Raleigh, and I can tell you, like, if you make like really, if you make 40,000, you got more than enough to have your own townhouse, your own car, a good car, and still have some disposable income that you should put in investments. You make 50,000, you're good. You make 60, 70,
Same here.
80,000, like, and even in Charlotte, I mean, like, for instance, you can get a townhouse. You can get a new construction house here in a mixed neighborhood for as little. I can guarantee you can get one for like 180, 190. But you can really get one for like 160 if you're willing to get a townhouse. Get a townhouse 155. If you're really getting a townhouse that's not brand new, you can get that thing all the way down to 125, 115. You know, and this is in the city, and this is not, this is in the good part where, well, not the good part, but not the part where crime is there. So my point is, there's things there here. So when people say this, and that's in the two cities. So when people talk about you need six figures, then you got to ask yourself, let's get past the outrage of it, the why they're doing that. What is it about this dude having six figures? And what it really is this perceived lifestyle spending that's based on your perception of what you need to be and who you need to be. Typically with men have a couple of toys that they want. It may be a car, it may be a couple other things, but generally they get content with certain things. And then usually a lot of that money is gonna be spent pursuing bitches, attracting bitches. Most dudes, if they can get a bitch without a good car, unless they like cars, they ain't gonna have. When I say a good car, they'll be cool with having, like, whatever car, like, a Dodge Charger or some shit. Whatever. They're not gonna be like, I need to get this higher end car and I need to stretch way past my means to do that if pussy ain't really what's pursuing. My point to saying this, because I want to get back to more the business thing. It doesn't, having a whole bunch of money. This is why people talk about hood rich. That's more consumer mindset rich versus like this. So it ain't about position. It's all about necessarily money. So mindset matters too. Now you do have to have a certain amount of money, but here's the thing: if you're somebody that, I'll give you a perfect example. People got how much money you think most people pay for their cell phone bill? Like, as far as like one person.
Between 75 and $100.
Yeah, right. You
Yeah,
agree,
especially
Carl?
if they finance the phone. If they finance that phone, they pay like 125.
Exactly. So even without the phone, we'll do 100. That's some new shit, because they, how they flip the script on making you pay full price for the phone. Now they just do it in finance as a way to keep you in the fucking contract. See, that's slick how they did that. They got around that law that made you can no longer force people to stay in contracts. That's the thing. People forgot about that change that happened in like 15, 16, or 16, 17. Anyway, AT&T, the way the AT&T prepaid, which is the same as AT&T postpaid. The only difference is, there is the finance part. It's easier to get like other products and services because they already run your credit. Running your credit is really the only difference. But it's the same exact network. And it's been that way for at least a year, if not two now, where all these networks are like parroting off of Verizon or AT&T. They're renting those towers and then they're selling you something. And the only caveat is you got to buy the phone outright, right? And nowadays, the phones are so advanced now, you don't really need the latest and greatest. You can get a phone, like one of my favorite phones was the Galaxy S7. Like when you look at the camera of like a Galaxy S7 and the phones are the brand new ones, yes, it's better, but is it like noticeably different unless you're really using a camera? Like it's like maybe your thought, or maybe you're somebody like does AM1 in videography that's really gonna know how to do it. All that, because that phone, it was already high definition, and most of the stuff is at 720p 1080p anyway. So do you really need 4K? Is there really that much 4K stuff going on like that? Is it all that stuff? Do most people really need to execute on that phone? We know they don't. So my point is, to wrap it up, is you can, if you're willing to pay $300 AT&T prepaid. It's not a sale, it's a rolling thing. You can go to AT&T prepaid, pay $300, buy a SIM card, whether you got a phone or not. Half the time, people, we already got phones, and guess what, your cell phone bill is paid for the whole year, and it's paid for the whole. Now granted, you only get 8 gigs a month. That's only caveat. But if you're somebody like, let's say my mom, that she don't use internet, I pretty much did that for Christmas. I said, all right, here, you don't got to worry about that. When she was paying like $45 a month for some, I forget the bullshit service she had. It was like bullshit service she had, but she don't got to pay attention to that. She already had the phone, so I just had to pay another $125 to pay her phone off. That's it. And you got a lot of people where that's like $55 that they don't have to think about. But see, people don't think that way. Like, people don't think about paying their bills quarter by quarter. So you're not having to worry about it every month, or every 6 months. People get shit like, let's say Microsoft Office. They get the $10, Amazon Prime, the $13, rather than paying the 99 stuff, to cut all that shit out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. What you're saying is the jump. What, in terms of the cell phone, the jump in technology from each generation cell phone is not enough to justify paying the high price for the top tier phone.
Yeah, it isn't even worth it to upgrade every year, because you got people to upgrade every year. Really, most people, in my opinion, should upgrade maybe every 3 years. But go ahead.
Yeah, they are the same. Now, in terms of people's bills, people will see bills as bills when you got to pay off. But when you get around people that talk tricks of the trade, in terms of paying your bills, then people will start to learn that, okay, hey, wait a minute. There is some nuances that I can do to pay my bills, even when we said, excuse me, even when I talked about crypto, just simply paying off something, making enough money to pay off something that can free you up. And that free up can then help you use that money you was paying for that one bill you just paid off and pay something else off. So now you got a snowball effect. You don't necessarily have to become a million, billion, trillionaire. You can make enough money to free yourself, free your finances. And that goes a mile. It goes an extra mile.
I'll give you an example. I had a loan. I had a title loan a while ago that was it was basically $8,000, and basically, the thing would be, okay, grind that shit down, pay it off. I said, no, fuck that, because the interest was not great. So when one thing that, even if you get past, let's say you get passive income of just $300. Now some people would think, so $300 minus plus, like, on top of whatever your expenses are for it. So it's profit $300. So let's say it's like 500 and it's profit $300. Well, at the end of the day, if it's something you're not even putting a lot of hours into like that, and it is passive, well, guess what? That bill is gone until I decide I need to actually handle it. Another thing people can look at it is like, okay, well, 271 times 12 is 35, 30, basically 3250. right? So if you deal with that in the year, 1,600, you're removing that off of like your monthly budget. So most people don't even have. Let's keep it real. We're not even talking about black people. I'm talking about every American. But we're all black, so we're gonna speak to the community we're in. It we care about. We care about black people more. We care about white people. Whether you believe it's a black community or not a black community, we can at least say that's true. Most black people do not. They don't have a. If you ask them, give me like a number that like the lowest number, you got all your stuff covered, like your bills, food, all that. Most people, they're gonna have to think for a minute. And then and that's important because if you don't know that number, you don't even have context as to how to lower the number.
Exactly. And my number is 3,000. I know that. I know that for sure. And what you just said, the 271 times 12, that is 3,250. But people are thinking about it in that one way.
Yeah.
Well,
in that
how
one
about
month.
right? Well, how about this? If you're making on the high end, the average American income is $60,000 a year. That's 60,000. Well, that's $3,250 freed up off that $60,000. So now you got that extra room where you can work with. So that 270, 125, whatever the case may be, that's big in that 12-month period. That's an extra $1,000. That's an extra $3,000, $5,000 that you can work with. That is freed up from your yearly income.
Yep. Even little shit. Like I give you example for Aussie mother. And make sure y'all hit me up with the Cash App. Support. I got some very smart brothers on here. Lionel and Carl. Also, I'm gonna be putting Lionel's channel on here, and that's another thing too, man. One thing I'm gonna tell Carl to his face now that he on here. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sharing Carl's channel. So even
Hey,
if he don't say shit, eventually he get that shit 2,000, 5,000. He go at least show up on Ramil shit a little bit more or other people's shit. I know you show up on solo shit as well, from time to time. But yeah, so we need to do that to show that there's a market for him saying shit.
hey, I just came into the studio on another thing. I'm trying to share my screen. So hold on. Yeah, share screen. Okay. It
Yeah,
should
it
be
sets you up.
apply window. Yeah, share screen. Share. Okay. Can you see the screen where it says Carl's laptop? Can you make that the main one?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought the nigga was about to say "fuck you, Edward." I was about to. I got a dude that comes up here pretty much every time, no matter what panel I'm on, man. He's like, "Fuck you, Edward. You a bitch." I'm like, it's like it's a thing now. So anyway, yeah, I got you.
All right. So I wanted to tell y'all about, make sure that you know about if it comes up, damn, my internet's going up. But I want to tell
Bandwidth
y'all about
is
the Small Business Administration thing with the EDIL.
okay.
Please make sure you do your research on this tonight because it's probably going to pop and come out over the weekend. So now the EDIL is going to be a economic disaster loan. They call it a loan, but it's not really a loan. It's a grant. It's free money up to $10,000. Okay? All you have to do is fill it out. Now, right now, unless they didn't redone it already, as it says right here, it says no longer available. It's going to possibly be available on Monday. Now, also the PPP, the new rules for the PPP just dropped. That's also going to probably be available by Monday. So when they wrote that bill and President Trump signed it, they got 15 days to put something out on this to make it available to the public. So next week, the 15th day, it's going to probably be available. They're probably going to release this shit in the middle of the night, like 12 a.m., 1 in the morning or some shit. But you get on this because the last time they did it, they let people get like between 3,500 and about 8,500. Now, if you're in a real poverty-stricken area, aka use your relative's address and your own direct deposit information, you can probably get the full 10 Gs. Okay? Now, also, if you have good credit, you can apply for the EDIL loan portion. This is the real loan. Now, they given somewhere between 10 and, I mean, some people getting up to close to $50,000, and it's at a 1% interest rate. So if you want to make an investment and do something with that money, you can do something with that money. But this is a free come up for some of y'all who need some money, some real money, some real, a couple G's, 3, 4, 5 G's in your pocket. As soon as they hit approve your application, and it's gonna hit your direct deposit. You understand?
Yeah, and these big
Okay.
companies are doing that bullshit. You see the ones that they said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna take it because it's there." And then some of them had shit. Even the LA Lakers did that shit. They don't care.
Mm-hmm. Now this time around, they're putting in plans for to keep the big companies out of it like that. So it's going to be more available to the individual. Now, when you go in this, they're going to ask you to apply either with a business license, an EIN number, or self-employed. Just apply self-employed, and you don't need any type of forms for that. Just say, I'm a 1099, I'm self-employed, I'm contract work, whatever. Put in whatever. Put in your information, your address. Make sure your address is approved. It gets better if you're in a low-income area. Okay.
Yeah, they saying to link it. So yeah, well, I'll get the link from Carl and put it in the comment section and do a community post with it. It is something if you got a corporation. And one thing I wanted to get back to, because there's a couple of questions I was asking. I got 2 crypto guys on here, but one thing I will say is, like that like budget shit matters, because that's something that reach everybody. Like, even like one of the things I used to do when I talk this, because when I talk to some people and some of the stuff I do, there's a lot of not so much coaching, but we'll call it collaborating, where you share ideas and experiences. We'll say that. And it may be going both ways, but it may be going more one way than the other. So if people want to kind of call that coaching, we can call it that. But one of the things I would say is, look, like even with something like GameFly, they're like a single mom and they got kids, whether they're single mom or not. But if they got kids and our son and they likes to play video games and they know the son wants some games, but they don't necessarily want to buy it because it's a lot of money, I'd be like, look, you can just get them a GameFly membership pass and then basically get them that for Christmas, or get somebody to give you that, and that's like $14 or something times 12 or times 6. So you ain't even paying for it every month. So what is it? 140 plus 28. Plus 28 is what, 170, like 168 or some shit. 167. My point is 167, you got a year membership, and then he can exchange 2 games, and then you can, back and forth. And the point is, that's done. You're not buying $60 games and then updates and all this bullshit. You getting mad because he don't, because he done with it after like a couple of months. Because the next, like, so it's things like that you can be smarter about. And some people don't ever think about shit like that. They just don't, and they just don't. It's not something that's bad. It's more that people have not. Look, I'm not on that excuse for knowledge bullshit, but we know what we grew up with and stuff like that. And sometimes people don't look at a problem except until somebody from another perspective tell them. Then some people, you can't tell them shit, so that's a different problem. So that's one thing. But yeah, but it goes back to what the corporation thing too. A lot of y'all always look at things as it's coming. Like when you look at like everybody, the house was burning down in 2008. I remember. I mean, people, the shit was wilding more out in 2008 than they actually was during this pandemic, in my opinion, because it happened and so constricted. But people did not think about the real estate gains that a lot of people got between like 2011 and 2015. And then people didn't think about the fact Bitcoin was coming online in that time. And then you got to look at what Carl talked about, where he got into Bitcoin in 2015 and now, and then that's kind of being looked at like 2009 almost compared to now. You see what I'm saying? Because Bitcoin has definitely gone up and gone out, but it's never gotten anywhere to where it was in like 2015. So if you invested it in, you've always been good. It's just a matter of, are you in it for the long haul or not? So my point is, there's always I can show you like the rise of Google, the rise of, as far as internet traffic buying, SEO. You want to be prepared for the next thing. And that's another thing with crypto, but that's also another thing about corporations. See, now you'll have people scrambling trying to get a corporation where they may be paying attention to that. Versus if you have an EIN number, even if you got one after the first round of shit, guess what? It's been X amount of months, so now you're ready for that. When whatchamacallit was talking about that before. So even if you missed this, which you shouldn't, be ready for the next thing, because you never know when that's gonna come and how that is gonna come.
Yeah, yeah. It's look, it's always better for you as an individual to live through your corporation. Your corporation gets the best discounts. Your corporation gets the best come ups and the best business practices for you. You get more rental opportunities
That's
if
a
you
whole
want to do
nother video,
apartment.
man.
Yeah. It's a whole nother video,
Yep.
but it gives you the best lifestyle to live through your corporation. What I'm showing you guys now is a website you can go to if you guys ever want to get into the phone flipping or fixing business. I said this on Emil's channel before. If fixing screens on phones is very lucrative. So the most common used phones, this is for broke people ain't got a lot of money, but they want a nice phone, sevens, everything from eights all the way up to the iPhone XS Max. These are the most top screens that are going to be used. Let's go to like an iPhone X. You can buy the screens for like, usually depending on which phone you talk about, like $50 or less, sometimes $30. So as we look up here, the most high end LCD is 4284. Okay, but they come in packs. You can buy a 5 pack for $149. You understand? You can buy the GX LCDs for $281.06, and you can fix phones for $110 a pop. So what I'm telling you is, you can put a $40 screen on a phone and make $40 in profit for your work. Okay. Now also, if you go on your Facebook Marketplace, you can find that people will sell their phones on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, they're
And
cracked.
so, yeah, the crack screens. You can low bid these things for 80, 90, $100. Fix the screen, sell it on eBay, or get you an overseas buyer in like a third world country where the phone is like quadruple the price. So an eight to XS Max might go for $800-900 in some part of Africa, or in South America down in
Yep.
Colombia,
Where the tariffs
or
are high as fuck.
yeah. So you can then have a phone. You check the ME on the phone. You check the numbers on the phone. You see what kind of contract plan is available for the phone, whether it's Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Then you turn around and you see if it's contract unlocked. That means they paid it off, and it's not blacklisted, so it's not stolen. You make sure the iPhone is also doesn't have its iCloud locked on it with a password, and you're good. And then you basically can buy the phone. If you want to sell it with a original box, you can ask the customer, do they have the original box? You can send the original box too, and you will do really good as a person. I'm talking about, you could buy a phone. If it needs any repairs, you can do the repairs yourself. Once you learn how to do the repairs, you might spend 130, but your buyer is willing to pay you like 300. So then you only have to flip 4 phones a week to make a G-ball. That's it. Really, you only have to flip out 4 phones a week.
Yeah,
Uh,
I'm gonna clip this shit out. I'll clip this video out, make this its own video, and probably upload it to that classic, my other channel. That's very good, because like, again, and then when you look at stuff like Craigslist and stuff like basic marketing techniques of how to use these sites, like you got Facebook Marketplace, you got Let Go, you've got
most definitely.
Craigslist. Type in Craigslist alternatives, and it'll give you all the sites, all the apps. Offer up. Now, some of these sites you got to watch out for, because people be bullshitting. But they're not gonna bullshit on no crack screen. They ain't gonna bullshit on that. So you fine.
Now you have to push your ads too. So you want to
Yeah.
use you want to generate a banner ad, or copy an image ad that you see, and make sure you put your phone number and information on there, and you want to just, push your ad, use paid ads, not unpaid ads, because people can flag them down. Now, you need $5 paid ads on Craigslist, and you need $5 to $10 paid ads on Facebook, and you will do really good. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's a good opportunity for a side hustle, for something where you can keep your day job and you can just pretty much answer your phone or text the people back and hit them up, and you can just flip the phone. Now, also, if you don't want to repair the screens, people will buy them cracked overseas if you don't want to learn that skill set. But the skill set allows you to make another stream of money with just repairing the screens. So you can run two ads. You can run an ad where you buying phones, and run ads where you say, I'm just repairing screens. So then you get a dual income off of this, because repairing screens is going to be extremely lucrative. It's going to be more consistent than just buying phones. Every other day you may buy phones, but repairing screens is like every single day somebody cracks their phone and they're looking for a cheap alternative than going to the mall
Yep.
and paying $170.
I can tell you right. Yep. It's and they don't relinquish on that. I can tell you from experience, these motherfuckers don't have Apple Care.
No, they do not.
They don't have Apple Care. They don't, and you can go, and this is public information. You can go to apple.com, like Google Apple support, and then screen replacement, and most of that shit is like $199, $299. And even with the older phones, like if you're dealing with like notes and stuff, that shit is even more, because they got a little
No. Stay away from the Samsung products.
Yeah, well, yeah, the Apple stuff is gonna be good because it's got like the reputation and stuff like that.
No. It's easier and it's more affordable. The Samsung product is way too expensive. It's
Okay.
hard to make a profit on the screen.
Well, I mean, like people that the Apple customers are very, it's easier to sell Apple stuff too. But I get what you said. You're saying from the business side, I didn't know. Now that I didn't know. So explain
Yeah,
about that too a little bit.
because the price point on the screens are too high. The price point on the screens are just, it's too much work and it's too high. The thing about the Apple products is the screens are affordable, and then changing them out is a lot easier than Samsung. Samsung actually has a lot of proprietary technology in it that if you fuck it up, you fuck it up, and you fucked up the whole goddamn phone. So
Okay.
it's like, and then look here, one screen is $235 for one screen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, the screens are highly expensive. So with an Apple screen, like with an Apple screen, even if I go look at an 11 screen, the 11 screen, I can get an 11 screen. Hold on, let me see.
Hey,
Because
I'm
they don't.
gonna jump off. I
All right,
appreciate you
man.
having me on.
Appreciate it. I'll still be promoting your channel, man.
All right,
Absolutely. Appreciate
y'all
you
have a
coming.
good day.
Uh-huh.
Because you too, man. Have a great day, man. Um, Let me see, like an 11 Pro Max, right? Because they don't have any screens for the 12s yet. They have batteries and stuff, but they don't have screens. So 11 Pro Max's screen is 135.54 for a high-end screen for LCD 11 Pro Max. But you saw how the latest Samsung product screen was over $200. So you're spending way too much money on the baseline just to repair the product. That means you have to charge the customer like $400 to fix that screen.
Yeah,
That's where you're gonna,
yep,
yeah,
and that's
that's where
why
it
them
fucks
store
you up.
places are so bad. Yeah.
And that's why a lot of screen repair shops only do Apple products.
Wow. Yeah, and that's smart too, man. For
They
on Apple.
only do it. Yeah. And then if you, what you really want to do is, once you get some training done, get the iPads done, because you can buy courses online for like $200, video courses that show you how to repair the iPads. It's the same thing with the phones. You can buy little courses that show you how to do the repairs, and you can do the iPads, everything from the mini one all the way up. And once you go down to like some of these later screens, like let's see, Apple iPad. Let's say like you want to look at Generation 3. Yeah, about Generation 3. Okay. The screens are like, cheap, $13 for a case. The screens are not that
Yeah,
expensive at
and
all,
just
bro.
because it's an Apple product, like people will buy. Like I've even seen pawn shops there. So just because it's an older generation, and as far as the software version, I mean, most of them can still go up to pretty good software states. So
Yeah,
that's
you have. That's another reason to unlock the iCloud so you can update the iOS when you need to.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of opportunities. Like that's a good example of something that somebody can get into and be able to get kind of their shit like that. Because a lot of times people, dudes build up baggage for whatever reason, and it's like you got to get that kind of reset where it's like get either judgments, whatever, shit dealt with, loan dealt with, stuff dealt with, a car payment, dealt with, so you can kind of so you have this new mindset, and it's like you got to go through that period where you work through having to get a lot of shit you built up based on dumb shit you did, um dealt with, so you can have that reset. And some people can be, it's kind of like being in, I don't call it red pill rage, but they can be in that kind of mode depending on how aggressive they are about dealing with it for a long time. That's why when Kevin Samuels told y'all should be working 60 hours, that's one reason why he said that, because that's a basic thing that anybody could do if they put in the effort. Now, obviously, you might do better getting a business and getting the hustle like what this is, but it's a lot of stuff out here, and a lot of these white, it ain't just white boys, a lot of these immigrant minded motherfuckers be doing this shit too. They may not be white, but they're not, black, and there's black people that do it too, man. So,
But
this is
but but look, if you fall off with this, like I'm saying, you have to come back with whatever money you get your hands on. Like I said about filling out with the grant. If you fill out the grant and they give you 2 G's, flip the 2 G's. Don't go buy shit. Don't go spend your money up. Flip the 2 G's. If you fill out your tax form and you get a tax refund of 1,500, flip the 1,500. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And keep your day job. Give these crackers 40 hours and give yourself 20 and work 60 hours a week. I'm just gonna say it to you. Give the crackers 20 hours. I mean 40 hours and give yourself 20.
No, I'm thinking of this damn Instagram page that I like. It's called Hood Estates. It's a really good page. That shit would be so, they wouldn't put that on there, but that shit would be, it's like a truck driving thing, but it also deals with other like investment stuff. That'd be some funny shit they would put. Get them crackers 40 hours and give yourself 20.
Yeah, bro, like you be surprised that little 20-hour span, you might make your weekly check off that 20. Then you get consistent. You might make it every once in a while, but then you get to the point where you make it every week. Then once you about on the fifth, sixth week, you're like, damn, these crackers paying me a G a week, but my business making me a G a week. You know what? I'm gonna save 2 or 3 weeks worth of money. I'm gonna tell these crackers I'm going.
Yeah, or you do
Like,
what I tell people to do if you can get away with it. I tell people to go on a leave of absence.
yeah.
That way, that's my MO. They be like, oh shit, I'm like, oh, because you can stretch that shit out, and this is where my aunt having dementia comes in. I be like, look, man, my aunt got
Yeah.
dementia. She live with my mom. She needs some help. I gotta go and leave an absence for about 3 months.
I need my FMLA.
Yeah, these
Like, yeah.
bitches be doing it. Yeah, like boy, black women, especially in the call center world, they be working, and that's the first thing they want to know about is FMLA. I'm like, you stupid. And see, don't, like, I've always been red pill, but with the shit going through here, I be looking at it, I be like, of course. Well, of course you do. Here it is. I already got it ready. And I'll be hating on them because it is what it is. I'm like, I'd rather you do that than be lazy fucking up my numbers and shit. But and some of them be needing it, but it be young chicks that be want FMLA. I'm talking about young chicks that don't even got kids. Like 24, 23. Bitch, what you? So they be
I'm going
hustling.
to Mexico for 3 weeks. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, so they be knowing the system. Like, don't. That's another thing about black men. Black women ain't got no look. They ain't got no qualms upon working that system as much as you can. Do not allow your conservatism to fuck you up in using the game, because you got these corporations and ain't got no problem doing what the fuck they need to do. Like, y'all don't. That's why when people talk about, like, shout out to Jap. But Jap was talking about, man, because he was mad because the two Democrats won. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not mad that the black dude won. I'm sorry. Like, I wish the black dude won in South Carolina. We need more black senators, more black governors. And as far as black men, unless they on some straight up bullshit, I'm not gonna be against that. So, but anyway, he was like, yeah, man, y'all want handouts. Y'all need to get your money. I'm like, you can be both. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Say, all right, that 600 went right in the my bank. Actually, I bought Tron. I bought a lot of Tron with that 600. Real talk, because I got something. There's a reason why I'm buying Tron specifically. So that's sitting in there. That's where that went. And my if they do another 2,000, I'm not mad at that shit. Shit. I'm not banking on it. I ain't saying nobody live and die by it. But shit, if it took 2 fucking senators to get that, I don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, people talk about, oh, well, so you care about them Democrats. No, first of all, they got 50-50 if they both win. What that means is Kamala's going to have to bring her stupid ass down there every time and break that tiebreaker. Just because they could always block shit with the 60. They can't. That doesn't mean they just run Congress. That just means they have heads of the chairmanships and shit. So it ain't so bad that like the Republicans are just gonna get overran and it's gonna be. That's not what it's gonna be. But people don't think about that. My point is, at the end of the day, if they giving out 2,000, I know it's a lot of people that can use that to flip.
Oh yeah, man.
Shit. But don't buy a PS5. Don't be stupid. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, get you a toolkit like one of these and start flipping phones, man. Start repairing phones, man.
I mean, since we on that shit, I mean, because I can talk about the internet shit all day, but I want people to know it ain't gotta be just that. Like, so that's that phone thing is a really big thing. And in fact, if you do it, another aspect of revenue you can actually get if you smart is start a YouTube channel. Because once you start doing it and making money with it, you could probably start a YouTube channel just talking about it. Just promoting it, and it's probably like an affiliate product somewhere there where you can actually promote how to do it. Somebody selling a course, hell, even make a course yourself. You get good enough at doing it. All you really need to know is if you get a couple of sales, like quite a few sales, you know the process. So it's just about doing the process. It ain't like people competing in your market, and ratchet that shit up too. Don't do it cheap. Shit, be like, look, man, I sell that shit for $300 a pop. You want to learn how to do it? That's what does with the notary shit. So that's another revenue. Hell, even just doing a YouTube channel, talk about some business stuff like that, to give you some views and shit. But whatever. The other thing, too, is as far as another business is, shit, the damn mobile detailing shit. You know how to detail cars and shit. You know how to get that. You get them rich white folks, some good clientele, and they trust you. That's some shit. Doing the AAA bullshit where you just start bringing gas to people. It's fucked up because you running them Craigslist ads, or you popping people's car locks. Because with the hanger and shit. If you know how to get the pump thing. This is simple shit anybody can do. Like, everybody can't do brakes, but everybody can do that shit. Don't get me started if you know how to do brakes, or if you know how to the mobile shit. Some of that shit may require a little bit more investment, but you getting gas in the middle of the night and shit. Some of y'all, I mean, my point is there's only the food truck shit, even though that's kind of crazy now because that requires people. But the mobile detailing shit don't. The popping people car because they drive.
You ain't gotta do the food truck shit. Just do the kitchen orders, bro. Just do the kitchen orders. Put your ads on Facebook. Pay for a $5 ad. Make sure your food photos look good. Make sure what you taking orders on is exactly what you selling. Run buy 2 get 1 free, and sell plates plus a $5 delivery fee, and that's it. Sell $15 plates. You know what I'm saying? That's it.
I know a dude. I know a brother, and it's funny because dude looks like Future from 8 Mile, like dreads. That so he sells cheesecake, and he got different kind of cheesecake. Man, them big bitches, and not even that. Like, shit is good. The shit is good. And right before COVID hit, that shit was just starting to pop. And I've been and I was gonna start working on his website. I was gonna help the brother out just because, when I see dudes doing shit like that, I don't even, because my thing is, it ain't nothing for me to throw up a website and then I could build that relationship up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's another thing people don't think about. Like something that would be of value. And I'm not talking about no extensive website, just some shit that'll make that shit look good. Some shit with the Instagram stuff, all of that. And then for people to see what he got and all of that, and then hit him and be like, just hit him with the Cash App. In fact, I actually need to reach back out to him to do that. But then COVID hit, and I ain't like hear from him again. But he was but the point is, I'll do shit like that if for nothing else. It's easy for me, and that establishes a relationship. So if I start to something I want to work with him on, he's a dude that really, I looked out and I didn't really ask nothing for return. Hell, I'll still buy his shit at the price he's selling it for. And the thing is, what he did was smart because he worked at a call center that I used to work at. There was like a 500 person site, and so basically pretty much nothing but black people. A lot of black women. So
he made some sales.
Yeah, he had them sample cups. So he would have all these sample cups, little sauce cups. That you put the, plastic top on, little black ones, like fucking Pizza Hut marinara, but a little bit smaller. Yeah, he would do that. He just give them away for free. And so, then before then, money. So he had them because we had refrigerators and the thing. We had refrigerators that weren't even being used. He had them right there. People didn't give a fuck. He just had to give like a free cheesecake to like the GM and shit. But they didn't care because it wasn't taking out no room. It wasn't taking out no room. And the motherfuckers, like, he was like, that's it. He said, I thought you was going to hit me up. He said, I thought about it, but I ain't going to do you like that. And so, and I know he getting paid because that happened right before the pandemic. He was like one of these cool dudes that, is an extrovert too. So I already know it ain't nothing but him just showing up like on some Uber Eats type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all you doing.
Yep. And so it's a lot of stuff that people can get creative with getting money. Everything don't got to be internet marketing or what people do. I actually like talking about those offline hustles because that's kind of like where the rubber meets the road type shit. And then you can flip that into something that may flip more money and then flip that into something else. Like I actually was going to get into talking about smart contracts before Duke popped off. Anyway, Xanatos clutch. Mitch McConnell's going to have to buy lunch for a lot of blue dog collar Democrats. Yeah, man, honestly, I'm going to keep it real with you. One of the winners of like this Senate, at least this election, is the people that are in the middle, like the blue dogs that are in the middle, the like your Susan Collins type of folks. You're gonna see probably some opportunities for bipartisanship because at the end of the day, you got a white man in the White House. You got a dude that is known for, like, Biden's got his credentials when it comes to black folks doing dirty shit. Nobody's gonna act like he's like he's suspected of being what Huey called an irresponsible white person. This is gonna give the store away from all the gays, the niggas, and the immigrants, regardless of what he say with the immigrant shit, outside of what the party is trying to do. So he's gonna be, and then obviously the corporations kind of trust him, at least the finance, because he comes from Delaware. So he's gonna be given some rope. A lot of the rope Obama was given was because of Biden. And I don't like Biden like that. But my point is, white people, you can't tag him like you could tag like a John Kerry or like an Al Gore. He can't be tagged the same way. And Mitch McConnell knows that. Then you got to understand he's a senator, like a long, long time senator. So a lot of these senators he's going to be able to work them a little bit more. And then Kamala, they already know Kamala going to do whatever these fucking white people tell her to do anyway. So, I mean, for real. And she's a senator anyway. So, I mean, the reality, and they know that he's not necessarily going to, and I've said, you've heard me say before that he going to do whatever these bitches tell him to do. And I think that's still kind of true because there's a lot of bitches in the Senate now. When I say bitches, you know what I'm saying. It's a lot of women in the Senate, especially the Democratic side. But he ain't necessarily going to do everything Pelosi say to do. I think some of the times are so extraordinary that a lot of the agenda stuff, they're going to try to sneak it in. But it's the bigger stuff that's going to have to get done anyway. So that leaves a lot of room. And they're going to have to get a couple of Republicans anyway because they're really not going to want to break. They're really going to want the 60 vote thing. So it gives them opportunity. It gives a lot of opportunity. Mitch McConnell can't just lock shit up like he used to be able to do. Anyway, Gabe said flip 2K. Why wouldn't people use that to pay for necessities? Because, well, first of all, if you have necessities that are so apparent that you need to pay them first, then honestly you need to flip 2K more than somebody else would. Because if you're that like on it, then you need to be thinking about different shit. Like one of the things people need to start thinking about is they're gonna need to start cohabitating more. Like if like people gonna need to start thinking about moving back in with their parents, not just for them, but for their parents. People gonna need to like a lot of this COVID shit is making it so people are gonna have to the households are gonna have to consolidate. There's about 14 million households, black households in America, and of those are made up of obviously single people, a lot of women with kids, married couples, and those households are gonna have to consolidate, especially in areas like California or some of the higher cost of living areas. And quite frankly, you're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna move to where mama stay or whatever, like move back to the south or whatever. Um,
No, no,
you
no,
don't see that.
no, 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 no,
Okay,
no, no.
so okay, we got a
If they
dissenting opinion. So what?
no, I'm just saying, like, if you grown, bro, you grown. You out, you out. You ain't gonna want to really go back. You ain't gonna really want to
No,
go
no,
back.
I know people ain't gonna want to go back. I know, I agree. I agree that they not gonna want to go back. But I can tell you from experience with some of my youngest brother and other stuff that these motherfuckers don't want to go back. But and I ain't even they gonna wait till they last leg to go back. But you got some people, and even if they go back, they gonna try to go back and then try to say it's temporary. Like I need to go back for like maybe 2 months or 90 days or some shit. But you got some people where they out here. And here's another thing that'll happen too. Maybe they won't move in back with their parents because you already see the reaction. But what they might do is they'll be cool with trying to go do the 50-50 thing up under a bitch. And they'll be cohabitating with another female that they fucking. And then it's kind of like both of them are doing that. So you'll probably see that actually a little bit more because that's more like acceptable because they ain't seen like you failed or anything. You know what I'm saying? So look out for that shit. Look out for women that's gonna be more amenable to that arrangement because they need their lifestyle, their hair and stuff. They trying to preserve, or they trying to find a dude that can fund that shit, and they trade pussy, in-house pussy for shit. So it's gonna come. It ain't gonna just come in the mama shit. It'll come in that'll probably be more. It comes in the other way, but yeah. Or motherfuckers, you catching financially transmitted diseases. You cohabitate with a bitch, and all of a sudden a baby come out of that shit, and then nigga you fuck. Like for real. So it's some shit you gotta deal with. And look, let's not act like it's just the dudes. You gonna what dudes? There's gonna be a lot of dudes that they be dealing as Platinum would say they be dealing with ugly bitches living up under them because that's the barrier between them and being homeless. The nigga shit is gonna start. It's already starting because it's out here. It's hard out here, especially if you're not properly positioned. So if you under 2,000 and you need a hustle, that is no longer a requirement. It just isn't. People have been working 2 jobs on some stupid shit. When I'm like, just work a job where you can work overtime. Motherfuckers working in Walmart and working in fucking a grocery store. And why? Because they want to live on their own. And a lot of people, it's like they can't get nobody because they ain't got the sexual kind of currency to pull that off. But at the same time, they don't want to live on their own. But see, that's before COVID. So I don't know. It's gonna be a lot of crazy stuff, but yeah, man. So it is some different type of stuff. As far as the internet, I got a question for you. So what do you think? Have you heard of a lot of these like spring up like work from home bullshit? Well, I won't say it's all bullshit, but things that have to do with crypto. Have you ever come across any of that stuff?
Have I
Or you
ever
not
come
even pay
across?
attention to it?
Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't mess with it.
You know
I
anybody
mean,
else
it.
that has?
No, no. I mean, I've seen some programming and things like that. Different firms want to hire people for different positions, but honestly, you got if you get into sales here in America, you can get a work from home position in sales and make 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
probably be on the You probably be on the phone for 8 to 10 hours a day, but you can make, 60 to 100K a year just on the phone doing customer services slash sales. Get your sales skills up, pass through the interview process, and you can get it through sales. But if you're gonna work from home, that's where it's at. Go into sales because you really don't need a college degree to make that happen. And then on top of that, you can work for 3 or 4 months. You don't need a car because you're pretty much just working from home. And you can move to a small town in Ohio or some shit. And just like your rent would be 500 a month. You know what I'm saying? And you can just take an Uber anywhere you want to go or a Lyft or some shit. And you just, or you can move to a big city where your rent might be a G a month or 1,500 a month, but you sitting up there making like 7, 8 thousand a month, and you just live wherever you want to because you got internet. Most of these companies will send you a laptop computer with a headset and all the
You'd be
things you
surprised
need
if
to.
they can insure it. They'll like make you sign something saying you fuck it up, but yeah, they'll give it to you. The reason
Yeah.
why I asked that is because one of the things that's kind of starting to come up under the little bit is this idea of like there's a couple of companies that do this now, but they use the smart contracts. It's kind of a method rather like so if you deal a home based business, you got a pay plan, blah 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 blah. But what they're doing is they're using a smart contract to kind of serve. Usually, the business is like an administrator. The central business admin, so payroll, product, procurement, all of that. So they use smart contracts as a mechanism to be use the blockchain to be payroll. So when you have so what they do is they try to call these fundraising generating sites because really what the product is you investing in like the coin, right? But Tron is one of them that's used, and what happens is the way you would make money is you invest in it, then other people invest in it, and then it's like it's kind of like a flip kind of thing up to a ladder, and then it's like what they'll say is it's safe because, and I've seen this, so I'm not just asking you about it, I'm just asking what you think. It's safe because it's all done by the blockchain. So when certain people pay with the certain smart contracts, it automatically
Mhm.
like just redistributes. So what I'm saying is now Bitcoin mining is a scam. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I'm talking about not just there's not a program called Bitcoin mining. Anything that talks about cloud mining is a scam. Because if you understand anything about mining, it's extremely difficult to do that now. It's been difficult for years. So mining for coins. But as far as using it from like some of these and another thing I'm seeing certain home businesses doing is they're accepting Bitcoin as payment, which opens up markets as to what you can deal with that traditionally payment processors won't allow you to go to. So have you seen all of that? Any of that? What have you thought of that? And any
I've seen the applications for the online payment apps that allow you to transfer your Bitcoin into cash over the internet, like direct payments, like for
yeah,
Amazon and things like that. Those are very interesting. Those are very nice. I think those make utilizing crypto as a payment processing platform or just as currency on the everyday use very available to the everyday person. I don't see it becoming a mainstream popularity unless they crash the fiat and everybody
yeah,
switches over.
I agree with that. But the thing is, home based businesses is not really a mainstream thing in the first place. So it's kind of like as you see more people adopt it, I will say the option it's kind of like PayPal. Like technically, Cash App and shit ain't mainstream. PayPal and shit ain't mainstream. Mainstream. It's getting more there, but using your cell phone to like pay for shit is not mainstream. Although it's mainstream enough to where most people accept it. Gas stations accept it. It's got general acceptance. So I do see where more and more companies. I am seeing where they're starting to experience like do it and make the announcement. And what that will do, which is further open up people to bigger markets, because it makes it easier you having people that are like in other countries, even if it's like Europe, because payment processors have their own kind of rules on certain things. And then when it looks at certain companies, depending on what the company and the risk factors they look at too, it makes it harder, which is another thing the blockchain can kind of get around. So you're starting to see that. And I just want to know what you thought, because one thing is when people usually talk about Bitcoin, they're either to a lesser extent talking about buy and hold, but usually to talk about like temporary speculation, and they never get into that. They just talk about like how it's the future and all of that, and
Yeah.
So
Hey, do me a favor. Can you take the chat off the screen from Jess
yeah,
for a moment? Okay. What
and
I
we're gonna
have
go
here.
through this, and then we're gonna wrap it up.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
This is a grant spreadsheet. I got this from another YouTuber. These are grants that are either have been available or are available right now. At the top, you have the EDIL and the PPP business grant. This is, I believe, this is the NASA grant. If you want to work with, no, I don't think. No, this is NAVA. This is the NAVA Small Business Grant. This is the American Seed. If you have an idea, they will give you that 250. This is the FedEx Small Business, but I think this is closed already. This is the Amber Grant. This is available. It's still available. This is the one for NASA here, and that's going to 750,000 for all you astronauts and programmers out there. And you know. And as you scroll down, as you see, there's just more and more money available that is still open, that is still there for you to utilize. Now, you do have certain grants. Let me back out so I can show you the full thing. 100%, 90%. Okay, give it a second. Okay, so you do have certain grants that are time sensitive, but also certain grants that are location sensitive as well. Let's see. So certain grants are going to be for certain states. As we go down here to the bottom, you see on the right side where it says national, nationwide, and then you start to get into which ones for the states. New York, Colorado, Pennsylvania, Minnesota, yada, yada, yada. Mississippi,
I'll have him
Arkansas,
drop
California.
all the links in the comment section. I'll pin it.
Yeah, so you got this Cali grant for all you boys out there in Cali. It's 25K, bro. Small business. For all you boys in Cali. You got another one that's in Virginia, in Orange, Virginia County. That's 10K. You got a couple of rental assistant grants and different type of grants for people in the New York area, the New Jersey area, different places like that. If you're having trouble with your situation, they do have that available to you. So I will drop a hyperlink, the hyperlink for this grant spreadsheet. Now this spreadsheet also comes with the separation for the individual setups here. You have the federal unemployment stimulus check coming in. You have, I believe this is closed. This is Beyonce giving away $5,000 per family, household, all the other shit. You got aid here. This is for anybody. Anybody can fill these out. So these are the ones where anybody can get the money. All you gotta do is fill it out. That's it. And if they qualify you, you get the money. You got free education grants here available for you. If you need any free education, if you want to take free classes, they got free classes here for MIT, goddamn. You see that shit. They got free online classes for MIT, Stanford University, all that. Links are here. They got Google Ads class. So if you want to learn how to do Google AdWords and Google Ads, you can do that as well. Free courses for a lot of things. English and journalism, journalism 101, access training, you name it, they got it. Also, let's see. There is a grant for students. So this one is for 3,800. The other one is for 3,800, and there is a new one that just came out. I don't think it's on the spreadsheet. I might have to get you an updated link for the spreadsheet, but there is a new grant that is available that is like $3,700 for high school students. You have to be, so if you have like a teenager in your household who's going to high school, if they fill it out, they get like $3,700 as a teenager. All they have to do is just get on there and start putting in their information and have a direct deposit information. They have to be between a certain age, under 18, in high school. They have to get a document from their counselor from their school and submit it. And they will direct deposit 3,700 into the child's account. So I'll get an updated link with all that on there and make sure I post it in the comments so you can pin it. And like I said, even in this hyperlink, you have direct link for the EDIL and the PPP website right there at the top. All you gotta do is just click it. It's gonna open right up, bow, 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 and that's it.
Yeah,
And
and
so,
you have like for the bigger grants and stuff like that, the more complicated. There are such a thing as grant writers as well, so people can keep that in mind. Also, it's what Jesse was talking about. Shout out to Jesse, in digital marketing agency holder, as well as I believe he's working on citizenship and dual citizenship in Ghana and shit like that, or some African country as well. He talked about it's it's not as widely known when it comes to the work from home things. It's starting to get more known. I mean, COVID definitely, I think, changed a lot. There's going to be a lot of things. COVID was kind of like a kind of a soft reset on a lot of things, because people are going to be a little bit more technologically oriented than they were before. And when I say were before, I mean like shit like live streaming is not going to be considered as weird as it once was, because Zoom was already growing like gangbusters before. Now, more people are familiar with it, screen sharing on computers and stuff like that. Another thing is with the work from home thing, people are used to dealing with people that work from home more. There's something, it's like I said, my job just said that my not my position, the entire like situation I'm dealing with is going to be work from home, and it's going to be permanent, which it was temporary up to this point. So you're starting to see more and more of that, because there's a lot of mental aspects with working from home as well, that people don't anticipate, and that you got to work through if you're not like introverted like that. Especially if they got rules where you can't use your
cell
television.
phone.
Yeah, like cell phone, the television. That real talk. Like, I ain't gonna lie, like shit. Whatever. I'm not gonna tell on myself, because you never know. Because even though my first name is not Edward, is my middle name. Let's just say my shit is like the goddamn Batcave. That's all I got to say. So
that boy playing 2K on me.
Shit. Not 2K on mute, but Mortal Kombat on mute. You just can't play online because you can't pause it. When it comes to grind out, or GTA on mute, going back through that. Oh, yeah. Now I'll be getting some more stuff in a second. I just don't like. I got an Xbox One. I'm just not up. I'm not upgrading for a minute, because I just don't. Whatever. I'm not into video games like that to do that. But yeah, that be on mute and that be on 1T. Like I got a big screen like by the wall. So if you look at my room, I got a big screen by the wall. Then on my other wall on the left, I got like 4 whiteboards that I put together. To make it one big whiteboard. I got that from the whiteboard, wood kind of thing with the whiteboard plaster thing over it at Lowe's. So I put them together, and I use command tape for it. So that's one big wall. So you'll start seeing videos when I do my other stuff where it's like the wall, it's like encompassing me. I did that. Then I got obviously my computer I do my stuff in. I got a Microsoft Surface where I'm doing this on right now. Then I got my phone. Then I got a tablet, like an iPad. Then I got a desktop tower computer too, because when you get these work from home computers, they can do anything they need to do in order to make it so you can't go nowhere on it. And then in my closet, This is the room at least that I do to do this shit. And in that same room, I got an air mattress in case I decide I want to sleep in that room. So I got air
Yeah.
mattress that I can fire up. And then in my closet, this is how I did it at first. I had all that shit in my closet. I could just close my closet in case they wanted to look in my room. So I just say, all right, 2 seconds, close it. It did nothing matter. Take the tape off because I don't trust nobody. And then it's like my
Yeah.
room is a clean room. So shit, so whatever. But you gotta be like, you do all that at your own risk. But then we ain't talking about the two phones I got, the phone. And then, so as far as like me personally, when I run my business stuff, so here's the thing with my business stuff, I can always be gotten in contact with either through Facebook Messenger or through text message or whatever. It's just a matter of, can you get me on the phone, which most people don't need to talk on the phone for most stuff, because I can send them links or whatever to wherever they need to do it. So again, and there's more and more jobs that are work from home jobs. You just got to look for them. It just depends on the area, depends on what the situation is, depends on what type of nature of work that you're doing. But yeah, and there's YouTube channels that speak specifically for that now too. So, like I said, this is actually a good precursor to some of the conversations. If I do live streams, it's going to be talked about on that channel. I see this like 35 people watch it, which is not bad for this type of conversation. And then considering Kevin has like 13,000 people, so that's probably a couple of my people over there. Talk about women, or modern women gonna die alone. So that's a topic niggas like. Yeah, they want to hear the bitches crying over there. Shout out to the couple of women that are watching. So you already know that was gonna bring some heat. So
Man, like I tell them, bro, it's a new age for men, dog. You don't need much, bro. You can live minimalistic. Like I said, with a work from home position, you don't even need a car no more, bro. Like you can live on a minimalistic lifestyle. And really, when it comes to these females, bro, you could just go down to Puerto Vallarta or Cabo San Lucas on a vacation, clap cheeks for 2 weeks, and then come back, and then you just good. Like once a year, I go out the country every 6 months to get my fulfillment and come back, and I'm good. Like that's it. like. like I told a lot of people, a lot of these females have played their hand, bro. They made it to where it's a no brainer for a lot of dudes who have their shit together, or they're intelligent enough to realize like
I, I,
you're
I
too costly.
well, yeah, no, absolutely. And the thing about it is, you're starting to see a resurgence in like MGTOW. Um,
What in MGTOW? Oh yeah, MGTOW, Black Pill, all that stuff, bro. A
yeah,
lot
so
of
like in the manosphere, in the black manosphere, um,
it's too costly, bro. Like the amount of money. I know a dude right now. He brought his wife like 2018. What is it called? The land. Hold on. Is that a Land Rover? Not a Land Rover. What do they call this shit? A Forerunner? He bought a 2018.
holy
Yeah, it's
shit.
called a
No, I
Ford.
just saw
Yeah, it
something.
is Toyota Forerunner. This is what he bought his wife, bro, and I guarantee you, he financed it. It was brand spanking new, and so let's see. He
Yeah,
financed.
don't even get me started because my brother flips cars. So as far as that shit, like because he don't do it at a big enough level. Because the thing is, when you go to them auctions and shit, you got to get them. The cost is in getting them shipped to you and shit. But that's why it's important to do it in some kind of decent volume. But yeah, man. But no, the reason why I brought that up, just to give you context, is you got a lot of channels that they're not using a moniker, and this is not a bad thing. This is not a judgment. I have no issue with MGTOW, because a lot of people don't understand. You can be pumping and dumping and living a MGTOW lifestyle. The biggest lie that that happen in the sphere is where MGTOW got associated with no pussy and say no pussy. And you may go into monk mode for a second, which, by the way, every man should go into monk mode for a certain amount of time. Because sometimes you just gotta grind. And I'm not saying you just don't get no pussy. When I say monk mode, that doesn't mean don't fuck. What that means is you not out here like trying to pursue pussy. So a lot of your time is being spent out here trying to kind of like, when you're a politician and you're trying to campaign. That's a campaign
Yeah.
and pussy. So and I want Carl, you're from Memphis. So you get it. You're supposed, this is what people don't say. This is
Yeah.
what people don't say when they talk about gang. You supposed to have a fucking roster. You supposed to campaign in order to create. Oh, if you want to do that, in order to create like a roster of maybe I wouldn't even say 5 chicks, really like 3 or 4 chicks, really 2. Maybe have one that ain't all that. I'm not saying it's ugly, but one that maybe, her ass is what, niggas be really dealing with. Her face ain't really all that, but her ass is that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but she ain't like on some, ego shit. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to have a roster of like maybe 3, 4, really 2 people you could always go to in your phone. And that way, if you do need to go on muck mode, you could come through and chill with somebody and they happy you there. They really like
Yeah.
you like that. You're not supposed to be out here constantly campaigning because the truth is, if you constantly having a campaign for pussy and wasting time to do that, it's just like sales. The hardest sale is the first sale. That's the hardest sale. And that's when people go into debt on is the first sale. And you're
Bruh.
not supposed to
Bruh.
be only
Bruh.
doing first sales. Go ahead.
Bruh, it's supposed to be like a 2 to 3 week thing, bro. When you really get into monk mode, where I'm trying to build this business, I'm trying to hit the gym on time, I'm trying to get up to work, I'm trying to stay focused. Like, really, what you want to do is get on a date now. You want to meet a bitch. She cool, she laid back, she like you, she feeling you, and you just let her know, like, look, right now I'm trying to build a business. Let me see you like once every 10 days. Let me see you like once every 2 weeks. Oh, okay, okay. But if you want to talk on the phone or something, you can always shoot me a text and shit. We can kick it here and there. But really, I'm trying to build this shit. But maybe, since it's the winter time, but in the summer, we gonna definitely kick it like almost every couple days. But right now, I'm just trying to focus on this business and get this shit up and running. And that's what you want to do, and you want to explain that to her, and she'll realize, like, most chicks, they got their own life anyway, and they got their own shit they doing anyway, so it makes it easier for you. And a lot of men think they got to put a lot of time and energy into these females, but no, if the female truly likes you, and this is the thing about females when you get on these apps and shit, when they respond back quick, when I mean quick, like they hitting you back quick, and you send them a text and they like, yeah, let's meet right now. Like, when she eager to meet right now, and she's like, come meet me at the mall. I'm at the mall. Like, okay, cool. Meet somewhere public. Okay, let's cool. Let's go to the mall. And you see her and she see you and she's like, oh, you look just like your photos. And she hugging up on you. She getting physical and shit. Like, yeah, that's that little junk you need to keep in your back pocket for a long
Yeah,
time.
and you need to do right by it. I'm not when I say do right by that person, I mean like give what you get. And I'm not saying to be like, giving that chick the world or anything, but you need to show her you appreciate that. That's what you supposed. And my point is, if you're gonna do that, that is, see, I'm not trying to act like I'm the arbiter of the game at all, but what I will say is a lot of folks are constantly in this mode of chasing bitches,
Mhm.
campaigning, and that there's supposed to be a point to that. Like when you are a salesman and you're knocking on doors, you're contacting. Remember what I tell y'all in sales: you contact, you communicate. Are they willing to communicate? Contacting is all you. Are they willing to communicate? Okay. Are they qualified for what you're trying to do? All right. You invite them to watch some shit. They watch some shit. You follow back up, and then you close them. And then the more you got people in those pipelines, the more it is. You're not supposed to just contact, and then that don't lead nowhere. You're not supposed to campaign. Campaigning is very time intensive. So that is supposed to lead to something. So your objective to campaigning for pussy is really to build up contact with women. Some of that could be for women you gonna fuck. Some of that could be for women that may know other bitches, that you can network with. Because here's the thing: there's not. you ain't supposed to be in the friend zone to a bitch that you paying for they shit and all of that stupid shit. But if a chick ain't fucking you and you a friend and you y'all cool and she know bitches, then she could pretty much put you. If you good in with her, she could put you access to other bitches. Another thing, if
Oh
you friend
yeah.
zone with good looking women and people see you around good looking women, they may kiss you on the cheek and shit, even though they ain't fucked you. But that gives you certain kind of credibility with other people looking around that you don't see. My point is, there are ways, even in the friend zone, to kind of operate in such a way where you're not giving away all your time, effort. I'm not saying to be on the phone with a bitch. I'm not saying to be no emotional douchebag boy bitch. I'm not saying none of that. There's ways to manage that in a way. There's a lot. There's women that I have business relate. Like when it comes to business, if you really want to do business with black people, you would be a motherfucking fool to say bitches are not allowed. Because bitch, number one, bitch, you can use women to get to deal with other dudes, and the network with higher dudes that got more money. You could use women to deal with other women. I'm not. Unfortunately, we are in the gynocracy. You got to move kind of within the stuff that you have, but that's true for the greater community. That's true for greater America too. So this like there's a reason like when they open restaurants, they go for the women first because they know if the women go, the men will follow. They know the women, if that's where women want to go, the men are gonna take them. So my point is there's a lot of stuff in that other than just like how back in the day the commercials used to cater to the dudes because they want in certain products that were focused on dudes like beer, sports, all that. Versus now it's catered to the women, but that energy never went nowhere. So you got a lot of these women on Instagram that's filling up that energy when it comes to Twitch and all that bullshit. My point is going back to the fucking shit is you should have a roster. So when we be talking about MGTOW, monk mode, nobody's talking about basically putting a vice on you. You not fucking or you going, oh, I think these niggas might be like this bitch ass whatever. Saints in the center. I'll give him credit for that. Like, look, if y'all check out that stream he just did with that chick that lost her mind, that light skinned chick, even though you can kind of see some of the narcissistic stuff that come out of him, but whatever. I'm gonna take that for what that is, and that's a good look as far as what this space is. But what I will say is, he made a comment when he was interviewing Danica Marie, talking about what big child, what is that, being gay? Like, and taking advantage of the fact that people are ignorant to what it is. And my thing is, you have to understand that you being like that just means I'm gonna start calling it fuck hashtag me too. It's hashtag me first because that's kind of like something that encapsulates what we're talking about without all that other bullshit. So what are you? I'm hashtag me first, meaning anybody I'm dealing with, if I'm fucking with a bitch or dealing with, it's gonna be what am I getting out of that? Meaning, if somebody asks me any relationship I have, maybe outside my mama and my parents, shit like that, it's gonna be I'm gonna be able to answer you what am I getting out of this relationship. It may not be something tangible. It could be, some people are with each other for codependency shit. It's different reasons. But what I'm saying is it's not gonna be no I'm just there because I want a bitch's energy or some stupid shit like that. It's gonna be
No,
that's why
it
I'm putting
has to.
yeah, go ahead.
It has to be codependent. Like, look, I'll tell y'all this: if you want to get next to some really cool female, get you a bitch who work at a club and she's like a bottle waitress. Get you a bitch who's a realtor, and then get you a bitch who's in law. You ain't gotta be fucking these bitches, but you can know 'em. You know what I'm saying? Like know them, treat them like friends, hit them up every once in a while, and like every other
Get you
weekend
a
hit they
business or paralegal. Go ahead.
yeah, and every other weekend hit they line and be like, yo, what a party at? I'm trying to network. Who got a party this week? I'm trying to network. Cause you be surprised because during Christmas time, like last year, but not this year because of COVID. But they will have big ass Christmas parties. I'm talking about like we talking about for one of these like big real estate firms like um Krylark or something. And every Krylark realtor in your city will be there. So if you want to get into real estate and you got a bunch of business cards, you can call Vistaprint. Vistaprint, I need 300 cards. I need 500 cards. You hit that party, you got a pocket full of cards.
And
You
a
know what
lot
I'm saying?
and a lot of women, and you got a lot of women, especially even hood chicks, that they believe in doing better. As far as when I say doing better, yeah, but I also mean like getting more money, living that lifestyle, trying to do it the way it's not so much the right way, it's just another angle. Like there's a lot of like when Platinum was on here, I showed you Stormy Wellington. That's a stripper chick. That's a stripper that she was a former stripper, and she makes like $350,000-$400,000 a month now, and she actually makes more than that, by the way. And then she was able to get Trina in her business, a Marilyn Negra in, right. I'm talking about on her team. Right. My point is, it's a lot of women like that. Lord Dorsey, shout out to Young Grizzly. It's a lot of women out there to be like doing hair. They be beauticians and stuff, and they got other things going on. Even if they're not doing well in it, they know people, and because they're women, there's like a certain value there in the society, and there's ways to leverage that. So my point is, going back to fucking um no, yeah, you're right, Clutch. And hold on, first of all, because I'm about to wrap this up, because I gotta talk to somebody about something, because
Okay.
I'm big. But shout out to Spurgo. 5 and by the way, all y'all, if y'all subscribe to me, I don't give a fuck if he never do a video. Subscribe to Carl, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you, and I've never told you this, Carl, but I actually have all of the like the videos that like the videos you have done. I got a playlist on it that I actually need to link y'all out. There's just videos you've done in the past, as far as crypto in the past and stuff like that, on solos and other stuff. Not necessarily videos where you kind of show up and not, but stuff that you were featured. It's about like 7 or 8 of them, because it's another dude, Myron Golden, that is another dude where you can't. He's on Facebook. He's not really on YouTube like that. So I had to create a playlist with him too. And the information, if it's good information, it's good information. But shout out to Smurgo. Rotations are the default, especially in this current dating climate. By the way, you can treat your rotation like girlfriends if it helps with retention. Yeah, my point is, it's too much focus. And then Clutch writes that it doesn't help the bottom line. And he's absolutely right. He's absolutely right about that. Your goal is, this is why I like Glenn and Cameron so much, because Glenn and Cameron approaches it a lot like sales, but he is a, dude, but he approaches it like sales, meaning your goal is to get contact, get this information, and your goal is to be, you got multiple women you can go to. So if some bitches want to flake or they got shit to do, it ain't nothing, because you're not leaning on one, versus you got and so you can even be MGTOW and still be like, okay, I got people that I already know I can deal with. Maybe I'm not saying they need to be fat, ugly bitches, but you deal with sometimes easier fruit than others. And then you got shit you can always go to. That gets you around all the shit that niggas want to bitch about when it comes to tricking. Now, going overseas, I'm all for going. I don't give a fuck what you niggas say. I'm all for sex tourism. If a dude goes on Mo and say, I'm fucking off every 90 days, and and he's got that shit within his budget, then yeah, because that resets him, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not, especially if he's got his economics on point. Now, if you're a broke nigga doing it, yes, but all these bitches do it. Girls trip, going to these fucking cruises, Urban Escapes, Mocha Fest, Cabaret, now
some of
Gambia.
y'all just don't even know, bro. A lot of these girls, when they go on these trips, they take a big ass bag of condoms with them, bro.
Yep.
Even these good girls, even these shit. I know Muslim girls who go down to Mexico.
Hoes.
Yeah, they go down. Listen, bro, they go down there and they bump into niggas who go on vacation and they fuck them niggas.
Yep. And I'm gonna tell you how you don't believe me. They remember when Safari broke up with Nicki Minaj broke up with Safari. And then it was like this thing about, like, let's just say, he had his pic, he leaked out that was, I guess he was naked. And then all the women were talking about, oh man, look at him, look at what he got going on. Next thing you know, that motherfucker was out there hosting Mocha Fest at Urban Escapes. You knew why the fuck he was over there. And that's a hustle he's been doing. So my point is that more women got passports than men. And it ain't just black women. Yeah. White women do it more. Black Latin women, they do it more. Let's be clear. Black women probably don't do it as much as that. And a lot of these fat chicks are doing that to get a hold of dudes simping. And then Caribbean and African dudes. They don't just do it for ugly white women. Why not do it for a black American chick? Do not believe. So when people are dick policing, that's the other element we don't really bring. So anyway, so my point is, I'm not here to judge how you want to do your shit as long as you got your shit under control. But niggas will look at people going to strip clubs and thinking that's fine. And people even talk about OnlyFans. Nigga, save your money and take your ass overseas. You want to do it. Colombia and shit like that. But anyway, because
one last thing I want to say. Approaching a female with business is more lucrative than a cold approaching in PUA. And you can approach like I was
Mm-hmm.
You can approach females, right? Like I said, you get you a paralegal, you get you a realtor, you get you a bitch who do hair, do nails. You could put all 4, 5 bitches together. You could rent a small space, put some chairs in there, and you could pass out pamphlets and flyers at women's events. Hey, come to this women's summit thing, da 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 da. You put a suit on, you on stage with a couple females who own their own business. Y'all give them advice. You charge a little bit of money at the door to cover the fee for the rent and to make some profit. And I'm telling you, every bitch in that crowd gonna walk up to you and be like, "Can I get your number? Can I get your information? Can I talk to you about a business opportunity? Really, I want to try to suck your dick and see if I can really kick it with you." Like a lot of females who try to get into business, they try to piggyback off of a man or try to get in somehow this way or that way, or somehow they try to get with a man who's already got his business game up and running. Also, not only that, but when they see you networking, it allows you to network too. So it's better to go at these females trying to network more than trying to just run game,
That's actually
because you're gonna
smart
you're
because you
gonna
can
meet a
always
lot of
go business if like it don't
yeah
go right.
yeah, and then you could meet a lot of females, bro. I'm talking about like these females will hit you up and be like, "Yo, I know Carl. He got his business up and running. Carl, can you come to this lunch thing tomorrow or this weekend with the girls?" And you show up and it's the bitch you know and like 6 other bitches and like all them bitches fine. And then bitches like, "Let me give you my number. You on Instagram? You on
Dude,
Facebook?" And you
dude,
like, "Damn."
that shit is I like, dude, like would you that shit is like a bomb on so many different levels, man. Like what you just said. And I that's actually kind of low key what I do. And I'm a short nigga. So that's actually probably low key one of the ways I've actually got not so much gotten around that would that not affected me like that would affect most people because they're looking at you from a different perspective because when you doing business you see what these chicks be saying too. So they do give you some problem. They know you moving money, maybe not even a whole bunch of money, but you moving some money more than the niggas they typically dealing with. They do give you points for that. And the thing is, it may not be each and every one, but in that the law of numbers and networking, you're gonna get money and you'll get a certain angle of respect because they may not see you as a black dude. They may see you as a dude that is like a leg up, and all of them ain't trying to. They'll use you, but not in that way because it's more like the relationship. And this is why I've told you all, I'd rather take a bitch out on a date. This a business lunch, knowing I'm not gonna get pussy. Because at least I know that, especially if it's a chick that's got some paper, and she knows some people that's got some paper, more than I'm willing just to take a bitch out, just to be taking her out because at the end of the day, we already know what we there for. And so, yeah, man, that's huge. And yeah, Essence Fest is big on the low. It's on the American side. So yeah, man, if you want to give your final words on it, and then we'll wrap this up. But yeah, man, that's actually 2 clips I'll probably clip out. And you need to
Yeah.
come back for that just to interview that shit. Cause that
Oh,
I've never any of y'all to hear this shit, and I'm gonna clip what he just said out. Y'all tell me if y'all heard that from any of them game niggas. Tell me that.
I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Look, you could get into something like surplus funds or wholesale real estate. A year later, your business can be booming. You can go pick up like on Instagram or Facebook. You can find like 10 of the baddest looking realtor bitches in your city. Good young hotties who trying to be in real estate. You can hit them with a personal invite. Hey, yo, I really want to invite you to this luncheon. It's a free luncheon. Just show up. Yada yada yada. You can bring 2 guests. You can hire a caterer, pay the caterer. Man, you're gonna have a room full of bad bitches. And they gonna all be standing up there listening to you. You can give a presentation on wholesaling, surplus funding, how to find leads, different websites to use for skip tracing, um, different forms of doing different deals in the real estate industry. And make sure you come right. Fresh haircut, tapered fade. Look up Indochino, which is a suit making company that makes made to measure suits. These are like damn near almost to the point of being what they call bespoke, but they're not actually bespoke. They're made to measure. What they do is they measure your body measurements and cut your suit out with a laser. So they lay the fabric on the table. The table got a suction to it. It sucks the fabrics flat. and then they put a laser over it and it cuts the suit out. So when it comes out straight to your body measurements. This is gonna have you looking straight out of GQ, straight out of Men's Fashion, and you're gonna look good, man. And I'm telling you, you got, like I said, a pocket full of cards, and maybe like a little mini notepad and a pen, bro. You're gonna pick up a lot of numbers. You're gonna pick up a lot of information. We're just gonna start following you on your social media accounts. You need to revamp your social media account and flip it. A person who really got a good, clean social media account before he got married was Jose Aniga of Men's Fashion. If you go back and look at his social media account before he started posting a lot of stuff about his wife, his shit was set up for appeal. It looks very flashy. He's stepping out of different kind of cars. He's wearing different kind of suits, different kind of clothes, different kind of fashion. If you can revamp your social media to look similar to that, trust me, fam, you're gonna have a lot of females who gonna want to do business with you. But then you got some females who are in business, and just to keep it real, some of these females like to have a quiet fucking buddy. A back, as Kevin Samuels once said, a back scratcher. So some of these females will be straight up business professional females, but they will have that, it's 10:30, can you come over? Phone call friend. You know what I'm saying? And so it's sometimes you can fall into that position, bro, just by knowing her, bro. She might call you at 9 o'clock and be like, "Hey, I'm drinking a bottle of wine. You want to come through?" Yeah, sure. Let me, you gonna be up about 10:15? Yeah, I need to hit a shower. I'll be right through. I'll
And
be
it's an
right
angle
through.
it's an angle that people don't look at. I mean, that shit could be an entire interview really on its own, because my point is people will be looking at this shit and they'll be on some, oh, you just talk about running away from pussy. No, it's a better way to manage that shit. Everybody's talking about campaigning for bitches. Look, I look at all options are on the motherfucking table. That's how I look at it. And you use these options depending on what your situation is in order to create a unique situation for yourself. And that's what you need to do. It's just like with these cryptos versus traditional corporate versus real estate versus internet marketing versus doing some offline shit. There's a great opportunity if you know to look for it. And it's the same thing with these bitches. Like, even I even keep calling them bitches, but you get what I'm saying. Even with these females, they have never been in a more vulnerable position. And it's not about me wishing that. That's some shit that they put themselves in, and that's the environment. You need to take advantage of that shit. I mean, shit is just pussy. And then dudes will try to have you invest, marry. Look, man, whatever. But anyway, man, it's been great. I'm glad, you came through. I appreciate that, because I'm actually going to clip the probably 3 things from you I'm going to clip. The SBI thing, definitely the text thing, and the other thing, and definitely links up so people can subscribe. And then, like I said, man, I'm going to send you a thing, because like I said, it's literally, well, I'm not going to go in there. I'll email you that. But anyway, I need to, I do.
You still got me, right?
Okay. Yeah, I got you. So with that being said, I appreciate Clutch for coming through. Shout out to Smurgo. Shout out to everybody that super chatted. Gabe A, NBA fan. I probably check out Kevin Sanders. He making these hoes cry. And with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.
Peace, everybody.
All right. Appreciate it, man.
Not a problem, dude.